nation. Utah is receiving votes. Good evening, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us. Alongside Lori Fogelman, I'm Derek Smith, coming to you from the University of Utah campus in Salt Lake City. Cameron Savoy is our producer in Waco, and tonight Baylor will try to keep it going against a very good team. Lori, Utah is not ranked. If they were to beat Baylor, they might be. We got to make sure that's not the case tonight as the Bears go for another big road win. They've been playing good basketball, and as simple and perhaps even boring as it is to say, that's what they've got to continue doing.
That's absolutely true, and especially on the road, you have to be just extremely focused, and we've seen Baylor be able to be really good at that. At Oklahoma State, coming from 19 down, they had to get refocused with 11 and a half minutes left in the game, but they did, and then that parlayed into some additional wins where Baylor is back up there in the conversation, very close to the very top of the Big 12 Conference. If you look at Utah, they're a team that plays extra hard. They shoot a lot of threes. About 45% of their shots are from beyond the arc. They play with really good timing and pace and space, and they're a lot like Baylor. They run kind of like the same system as Baylor does with some similar actions. They may not be as athletic as Baylor, but they can play some really strong Ds. So Baylor, especially on the road, and in the elevation here in Salt Lake City, will really need to elevate its game to get out of Salt Lake City with a win.
We are 4,738 feet above sea level, so not quite a mile high, but up there. And the team certainly is aware of that. They've been preparing the girls with beet juice, which, if I'm honest, Lord, does not sound like the most pleasant way to prepare, but if it's effective, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, beet current. Let me tell you what, just don't spill it on you because you'll never get it out.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. But, it was very interesting to see them physically prepare for the altitude, which began a while ago. I think even when we were on the road at Iowa State, they were already just prepping themselves physically for this two-game swing throughout the state of Utah.
This is Conecuh Sausage Countdown to Tip-Off. Conecuh Sausage is made from the finest cuts of pork. Their patented blend of seasonings, smoked over pure hickory fire for that true hickory smoked southern flavor. Conecuh Sausage is always great on the grill and perfect for tailgating. Pick up a pack and enjoy your family's favorite recipes at any meal of the day. Conecuh Sausage, a game day tradition and the official smoked sausage of the Baylor Bears. Baylor is 15-3 on the year, 4-1 in Big 12 play. Utah is 13-4 overall, 4-1 in Big 12 play. And Lori, it's early. Or is it? The Big 12 season will be a third of the way over after tonight. I know, it's crazy, and I think you look, Coach Nikki, you're going to hear from her in a little bit in a pregame interview, and she talked about, I asked her about this being a quad one game, and she really pivoted the question more to the goals of trying to win a Big 12 title. A quad one win, Baylor has 3 of them in 6 games. Few teams in the nation have that many games and that many wins against quad one teams. But when I asked her about that, she talked about the goals of winning a Big 12 title. And certainly quad one can help you get where you want to be in the postseason, but her immediate goal is a Big 12 title. And games like this help you get there. And just goes to show, I think, where the mindset is. And the reality is that we're not early anymore. We are getting into the meat of the season, and games like these are all the more important.
Yeah, but I think what this team and this coaching staff does extraordinarily well is that they stay just focused on what's next, what's right in front of them. And I remember last year when we were playing at Kansas State, Derek, and you turned around or actually I turned to you because I was shocked when you said this, that, Baylor coming into this game having won 8 games in a row. And it was like, we have? Because they're so good, again, at focused on what game you're playing right now. And that's all they've got to think about right now is Utah, and whatever comes next, comes next.
It's the Bears and the Utes coming up tonight, Lori, at 8:02 p.m. Central Time, of course. We're in the Mountain Time Zone tonight. The Big 12's expanded footprint. This is the first time Baylor has ever played here in Salt Lake City. Baylor 3-0 all-time against the Utes, 2-0 under Coach Nikki. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, we're going to hear from Kirsten Johnson. The Baylor senior leads the Big 12 in blocks per game, and we'll get to know her a little bit better when we return. She's actually known Coach Nikki for a long time, finally playing for her. We'll talk to her about that next here on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. When it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. With the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud. Here's a tip. No reputable company or government agency will ever ask you to pay them with gift cards, Bitcoin, or a person-to-person payment app. Scammers use these options because the money can't be traced. Just don't do it. This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Come see why Green Eye Associates is voted best in Waco year after year. Enjoy exceptional service and care from Dr. Leanne Green alongside her dedicated optometrist and staff. Receive trustworthy insights on your eye health. Enjoy the impressive variety of contacts and eyewear, and work with the most experienced optical team in Waco. Don't miss the new state-of-the-art dry eye therapies that rejuvenate the eyes and face with safe, non-invasive treatments to restore comfort and quality of life. Green Eye Associates, official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
Premier ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the appropriate level of care that you receive, and we are in network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care has 4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.care. Are you tired of slow internet? Are data caps and throttling making it impossible to stream your favorite shows and movies? If so, it sounds like it's time to switch to Nextlink Internet. With Nextlink, there are no data caps and no throttling, just super fast internet speeds, up to 1 gig over wireless in some areas. Plus, Nextlink is an official partner of Baylor Athletics. So don't wait another minute. Give Nextlink a call or go online to nextlinkinternet.com to see what special offers are available to you. Blazing fast internet is just a click or phone call away. Sick 'em, Bears!
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
University of Utah tonight. It is Baylor and Utah. Game number 6 in Big 12 play. Game number 19 on the season for the Bears. Well, when you look at Baylor's defensive numbers, they are one of the top three-point defense teams in the nation. In fact, number 4 in the nation in slowing down the three-point shot, which will be big against this Utah team that averages nearly 10 made threes per game. Baylor also top 10 in the nation in field goal percent defense. A big part of that, Lori, has been that interior post defense. Baylor has done a good job on the perimeter, but they've also done a good job inside with those post presences. Certainly Bugs off the bench, Kyle Abraham and Kalen Elms, but the addition of Kirsten Johnson, KJ.
Boy, KJ has just been a force at the rim and a great rim runner as well. She's just a dual threat in that area. But I tell you what, you just cannot go in there and think you're going to have your way with Kirsten Johnson. She is almost leading the free world, it seems, in blocks at the rim, and that's really been a positive for Baylor. And she's played some really good games, a couple of games in a row.
Well, she is someone who's actually known Coach Nikki for a long time. Coach Nikki recruited her out of high school. Lori, trivia question. She is the only Baylor player who is what? Who is from where?
State of Texas.
That's right. She is
took
the
me a
only
minute.
player from the state of Texas, but her relationship with Coach Nikki goes way back. And Kirsten Johnson, our player interview tonight, says she's glad to be finally playing for Coach Nikki.
Since high school, she recruited me out of high school. Really loved her program. Kind of wish things would have been differently, but I'm just glad I'm here now. Love such a coach, great coach. Especially coming out of the W, somewhere I want to see myself in the future. She's a great person, great coach to have, and she's really helped me be the person I am today.
Visiting here with KJ, and KJ, your minutes per game is more than double really your previous. What does it mean to you to have that kind of opportunity game in game out?
Yeah, it means a lot. I haven't had it in my years, and just being able to have this right now and be able to maximize on it is just so special. special to me. Just being able to have that chance, and that's what Nikki gave me. So, I just love playing with these guys. It's always fun. So at this point, I really don't even care about the minutes. Just playing is fun for me.
Well, and you've been such a big part of it. The team has an elite post defense, and you've been such a big part of that, leading the Big 12 in block shots. So for those of us who will never get the feeling of blocking someone else's shot in a Division I basketball game, what does it feel like when you get a hand on it, when you swat it away and know you've shut down what they were trying to do?
Yeah, it's a big rush. It's fun. It gives everyone energy. It gives me energy just to see being able to block a shot, depending on how far it goes, makes it more fun. But no, it's just fun. Something I really do take pride in my game.
We see you, we see Kyla Abraham, Kalen Helms, and others. Do you all think of yourself as a group, and what's that culture like?
They're so different. They're so funny. I love them so much. Just the group of folks, we're all great. We all do different things in our own ways, and I think that's what I love so much about us. And they're fun. They're fun girls. Love to have them in my group, so they're always good to compete against.
And Clay, have you ever been to Utah? Is this your first time to Utah? What stands out?
No. I ended up playing Utah my freshman year. Don't really want to talk about that, but just able to come back and be in this atmosphere. It's really nice. The mountains are beautiful, but it's really cold. I'm not really a cold air person, so excited to play in front of their fans and just the energy we decided to bring today.
Hey, whatever happened that first time, you can make amends.
Right, exactly. We're gonna wash that out of my brain and put this good fun memory in it.
Bluebonnet Health Services has been caring for Central Texans since 2004. Bluebonnet is locally owned and operated, which allows them the most interaction with patients each and every day, promoting compassionate care and integrity. They provide hands-on attention to their patients through a staff with years of experience. Bluebonnet Health Services provides home health care, supportive care, and hospice. Remember, it's your health, your choice. Ask your doctor for Bluebonnet Health Services.
Planning a new or used vehicle purchase? Drive the lane with First Central Credit Union's easy online application. It's a winning season with First Central's full court press of quick local loan processing, your best rate, and flexible terms. Apply online. You'll score at www.firstcentralcu.com. We're your team.
Membership and loan policy requirements apply. Member NCUA.
Everything we do is true. We do for you.
We don't just build trucks. We build something that's meant to last. That's why the 2026 Toyota Tundra isn't just built in Texas. It's built by Texas, which means the Tundra is built to toughen out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. Built to roll with the punches and to go the distance. Built stronger, built louder, built here. The 2026 Toyota Tundra. Built in Texas, driven everywhere. Test drive your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today.
Right now, qualified buyers get 2.99% APR financing for 72 months, plus $1,000 subvention cash on a new 2026 Tundra. Toyota, let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for offer details. Offer available in select states and ends 2/2/26.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Utah on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
See for yourself why Green Eye Associates is voted best in Waco year after year. Enjoy exceptional service and care from Dr. Leanne Green, along with her dedicated optometrists and staff. Receive trustworthy insights about your eye health, enjoy the impressive variety of contacts and eyewear, and work with the most experienced optical team in Waco. Don't miss the new state-of-the-art dry eye therapies that rejuvenate the eyes, face, and neck areas with safe, non-invasive treatments to restore comfort and quality of life. Visit greeneyeassociates.com. Green Eye Associates, official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. When it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. But with the right game plan, you can protect yourself.
Yes.
Don't take my fraud.
Yes.
Here's a tip. If you receive a call from someone claiming to be from a company, don't give them your personal information, ever. Unless you know them personally, hang up and call the company back on a verified number. This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So we could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right. Ooh, I like it. So you saying hip-hop can be hop here. Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry, it's different. Premier ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the appropriate level of care that you receive, and we are in-network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care has 4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.care.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
It is Baylor and Utah tonight in Salt Lake City. Bears with 4 straight wins in Big 12 play a tough road test ahead tonight as we visit with Bears head coach Nikki Collin. And Coach Nick, let's just really kind of dive right into this matchup. We've seen a couple of really good games between Baylor and Utah over the last 3 seasons, and they've got a good team. Baylor a good team again this year. So I'm curious, let's just start right in with Utah. You've talked about them understanding who they are
A little bit. How does that impact the way they play and what that demands of us going against them?
Well, I think they're a team that relies on the analytics, and they're a team that trusts the pass and trusts ball movement and player movement. So, you know, if you watch a lot of their actions, they'll run the same things we run. We both play in flow a lot, but they're a team that plays the second side and then the third side, and they maybe don't have the individual playmakers to break off and go make plays, so they allow the system, they create off the handoffs, they create off the back doors, they create off cuts, and so because of that, they're very system driven, and they believe in their system, and they believe if they execute, they'll get good shots. If they get good shots, they're going to make enough of them to be competitive and win basketball games.
They've won 10 of 11 games, Baylor 4 straight here, and you look at the matchup, you're talking about things they do, cutting, that's something that they do very well. What does that demand of Baylor on defense against them?
You just got to be in a stance. You got to understand it's going to happen, and if you get caught standing, you're going to be in trouble because they'll be by you and you won't be able to recover. And so, it's really about being ready and being in a stance on every possession and not taking breaks, and it's easy to take breaks off the ball. It's easy to look at the ball. And if you do that in particular against certain players, they'll for sure burn you, but I certainly think they're going to still have those moments. We can talk about it, we can drill it, we can do all of that, but you're still going to give up some of those plays, So I still think with Utah it comes down to, do you take the 3-ball away? Do you not let them get rolling from behind the arc and make them play 2 by 2 by 2 and make shots in the lane and make shots against rotation? And so I think that's going to be the key thing for us, is executing at the offensive end, but also taking the 3-ball away.
Coach Nick asks you oftentimes we're playing someone what they do and what that demands of Baylor. And I've asked you a version of this, I feel like a few weeks ago, but feels like January now, rolling a little bit. What does playing of Baylor demand of Utah or whomever is in front of you at this time of the year?
Well, I think it's, obviously people are going to start with, what are you going to do against Talia Scott? What are you going to do against our ball screens? What are your takeaways? Are you going to put 2 on the ball on a ball screen? Are you going to play us straight up? And so that's a big part of it. And then I think they have to find ways to score. I mean, I think our biggest successes have come at the defensive end this year. Certainly it was good to see us, put the ball in the basket against Kansas. But we've won a lot of games because our defense dictates tempo. It dictates the shots that you're going to take and get. And when our rebounding is good, our defense is elite. And so, I think it's still a little bit of that. You got to figure out, how are you going to score against our length, our shot blocking, and I think outside of, our ball screen stuff, it's our transition. If you can keep us out of transition and make us play in the half court, you got a chance to beat us.
Visiting with Coach Nikki Collin. It's Baylor in Utah tonight in Salt Lake City. And, you look at this Baylor team already around this beginning of this year. Of course, New Year's Eve day as well, road wins at Oklahoma State. And then Iowa State, remember back in November, a win at UNLV. This team seems to have embraced road challenges. Is that something you've seen? Is that something you feel with this team?
Yeah, I think this team has good camaraderie. I think coming on the road, I've always said this about road games. There's fewer distractions. You're in a hotel room, you're with your teammates, you're eating on a schedule. We have good control over when they go to bed and what they eat and all of that. And so, I think it allows you to focus and keep the main thing the main thing. And so, I think that's why we've been pretty good over the course of our time here, because we stay pretty consistent in our approach, when we leave, how we leave, when we practice. Our shoot-arounds all look the same. And so there's a tempo to what we do on the road that I think allows them, to just kind of lock in and understand what we're on the road to do.
This is asking about something that you can get into rankings or quadrants, and it's January. But one thing that stands out about what this team has done is you've got a quad 1 game on the road tonight. This team has played 6 quad 1 games, won 3. That's right up there with just about anybody in the nation. Is a quad 1 game something you think about much leading up to it? Obviously, it's important to take advantage of these opportunities to get where you want to be.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us is not quad 1, because I don't think playing BYU is any different. I think it's about staying in the conference championship race. I think it's something that all of us in this program see as a goal and want to accomplish. And I think no matter who you play, no matter where you play them, if you want to stay in that race, you got to keep winning, and you got to take games one at a time and be really focused on that. And certainly, quad 1 wins and quality of wins, impact, NCAA seeding, all of that. But it's really too soon for us to focus on that. We're just focused on staying in this conference championship race.
All right, thanks very much. Bears head coach Nikki Collin with her pregame comments. It is Baylor and Utah coming up tonight from Salt Lake City. We'll take a timeout and come back with the tip right after this on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Hellberg Barbecue is a family-owned business started here in Waco, Texas, and proud to serve the local area. They love to cater all kinds of events, big and small. Serving Baylor and its families is one of their favorite things, and they even ship barbecue nationwide. Check them out while here in Waco or online and support one of Waco's local barbecue restaurants, Hellberg Barbecue. Salt, pepper, and a whole lot of prayer.
Hi, I'm Jim Turner at Jim Turner Chevrolet in McGregor. As we celebrate our 10th year anniversary, I want to say thank you to all of our customers. Our dealership is more than a business to me. That's why when you come see us for a reliable new Chevy or award-winning service, we treat you like family. Come see our new collision center, now open to serve you even better for many years to come. Enjoy the game, then come see us at Jim Turner Chevrolet in McGregor. Together, let's drive.
Kids can now join the Baylor Cub Club, the official kids club of Baylor Athletics, presented by Green Eye Associates. Fans 12 and under can register for the low cost of $25 and gain exclusive benefits and access to Baylor Athletics events. Members receive free admission to select events, exclusive giveaway access, and their own membership package. To register your Cub, please visit BaylorBears.com/Cub Club. Sign your Cub up today.
Are you tired of slow internet? Are data caps and throttling making it impossible to stream your favorite shows and movies? If so, it sounds like it's time to switch to Nextlink Internet. With Nextlink, there are no data caps and no throttling, just super fast internet speeds, up to 1 gig over wireless in some areas. Plus, Nextlink is an official partner of Baylor Athletics. So don't wait another minute. Give Nextlink a call or go online to nextlinkinternet.com to see what special offers are available to you. Blazing fast internet is just a click or phone call away. Sick 'em, Bears!
Fox Sports Radio, 93.9 K230 CK and KRMX HD3 Waco.
This is Baylor women's basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Brooks wants to drive in on Abraham, who blocked her shot.
Way to go, Abraham. She held her ground.
Top of the key and traffic out to Fauntleroy. Here's a three from the left side, and it's good.
Today's game is brought to you by Central National Bank, proud season sponsor of Baylor women's basketball. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, championship partner of Baylor Athletics. Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance online to find a local agent today. Baylor Scott and White Health, the official hospital and healthcare system of Baylor Athletics. Your healthcare, your way. Libman, America's trusted brand name in cleaning. TFNB, your bank for life. The official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Premier ER and Urgent Care. Feel better now. Get ready. Tip-off is just moments away. Now, back to the voice of Baylor women's basketball, Derek Smith.
And we welcome you back into the John M. Huntsman Center on the campus of the University of Utah, Salt Lake City. First ever visit for this Baylor women's basketball program to this facility. Baylor 3-0 all time against Utah, but two of those have come, Lori, under Coach Nicky in the last 3 seasons. And one thing that stands out about both of them, they've been good games, they've been close games. And we can't predict per se here, but honestly, Lori, I'd be surprised if this was anything but a kind of a copy of what we've seen those last two, and hopefully it is, because that would also mean it's a Baylor win.
Yeah, when Baylor won that first game, Utah was ranked number 4 in the country and came in with, remember, Alyssa Peely and just an amazing player who's in the W now. And the thing I remember the most about that is it was Taylor Swift night, and we had a huge crowd there at the Farrell Center for that game, and it was so much fun. But then Baylor won again, 70-61, on January 14th, 2025. A year ago today, as you mentioned, Baylor won by 9 over Utah. It felt like a comfortable win at that time, but nothing is ever comfortable in the Big 12 Conference.
You know, it's one thing that stands out about that game, Lori. Baylor played that game without the services of Dariana Little-Page Buggs. That was the game after Baylor returned from that road trip in Arizona, in which there was that ridiculous double ejection after there was a fight there at the Arizona State game, and Buggs just basically defended herself, but she was ruled to have been fighting by the officials. So Baylor had to play that game without her, and obviously they played it well in the win. Say this, knock on the proverbial wood here. It's nice for Bears to be at full strength. These last couple games have been an anomaly because this team has not been at full strength in a while, whether it was Jana Van Guytenbeek injured first game last year, Buggs injured in their latter games of the season last year. Baylor's coming in healthy, and boy, I hope it stays that way for a lot of reasons, not the least of which, let's see what this team can do healthy for a while.
Yeah, that is so true. You think about just not having Talia Scott for a couple of games. You know, you lost her in most of the Texas game. You didn't have her, but for 2 minutes when she was put in at the end of the game, just to see if she could provide a Baylor spark against Texas Tech in that loss. But you know, to have a healthy Talia Scott, a healthy Buggs, a tough Bella Fauntleroy out there, a resilient Jana Van Guytenbeek, and other players who've come in and have made a difference, like Kirsten Johnson. her ability to rim run, her ability to protect the rim, to be able to shoot the three ball. She was 3 for 3 in her last game, and I think she just has this ability to make Baylor different. But Baylor also has some players that are coming along who could step in, like Kyla Abraham, who just continues to slowly elevate her game and play some really valuable minutes for Baylor and Coach Nikki Collin.
Couple of notes here, Lori, before we get started. Obviously, the Bears are playing good basketball. Baylor is 3-3 against quad 1 teams. If Baylor gets a quad 1 win tonight, they'd have 4 on the year. Only 2 other teams in the nation have at least 4 quad 1 wins. So that's a number in and of itself. Meanwhile, this Utah team, to their credit, has the only win this year against TCU. And Lori, we've just had our first crazy finish, really crazy finish. In the Big 12, TCU hits a three-pointer at the buzzer.
You are kidding
and
me.
defeats West Virginia by a
Wow.
point in Morgantown. So Baylor needs to keep pace with everyone there with the win tonight. That's going to knock West Virginia down a notch. We can only focus on this one, but it's worth noting Utah defeated TCU in overtime to hand them their only loss of the year, and both teams are really well tested in close games. You think really Baylor's, aside from the Kansas game, 5 of Baylor's last 6 games have really come down to the wire, and you look at Utah, it's the same thing. Their win over Kansas, their loss against Arizona State, their win over TCU, all of them have come down to the wire. So these two teams aren't going to be thrown off by now.
Not at all. And then you think about Baylor coming into this game on the road. They're on an 8-game streak of true road victories. Yes, they've lost one on in Florida on a neutral court. But this is Baylor winning 8 games in a row on true road victories and winning 14 of its last 16. And so Baylor's one of only 4 Big 12 teams with an unblemished road record, true road record this season.
TCU wins the tip. Reese Ross sends it back to the guard. That is Brooke Walker, and we are underway here in Utah. Their leading scorer, Lonnie White, bounces it on the high right side to Ross beyond the three-point arc. They make nearly 10 three-point shots per game. Utah in white, red letters and numerals and red trim. Baylor on defense in green, gold letters and numerals and gold trim. Here's a 3 from the corner, missed by Maddie Wilkie, no good. As the Bears and the Utes fight for the weak side rebound, a jump ball is called, and the possession arrow favors the Bears. So the Bears get a stop on their first defensive possession, and they'll get it after a held ball on the rebound. Back the other way now, Baylor looking at things for the first time on the offensive end, 30 seconds into the contest. Buggs has it at the edge of the arc right side, flips it to Scott, around the screen, pops a mid-range jumper. That worked for her on Sunday, but it's off the front of the rim here. Rebound to Walker. Here comes Utah the other way. Their leading scorer, Lonnie White, flips it over right side of the floor to Evans. Evans now will give it off to Walker. Walker, harassed by Talia Scott, has to get rid of it. Bounces it middle of the floor to Evans. Kicks it out to White for 3, and she hits. Utah hits the first bucket of the game and takes an early 3-0 lead, 1:07 into the ball game.
Boy, that's one where you had Utah just score right off the catch and shoot.
Bella Fauntleroy answers, though, for the Bears, taking the pass on the left side of the lane, dribbling in close and glassing it in. 3-2 the score. Utah with the basketball. Here is Brooke Walker running the point. Walker averaging 6 points and 2.5 assists per game for the Utes. It is White who hit the 3 a moment ago. White, harassed by KJ at the top of the arc, feeds it to Walker, and in the corner they go to Wilkie. Another pass into the corner. Here's a 3 out of there again. No good, but a weak side rebound grabbed offense on the offensive glass by Reese Ross, and Utah will get another look at it. Just about 2 minutes gone. The Utes have the ball in a 3-2 lead. White to Evans, gets inside, flips it in. Spun around Bella Fauntleroy and finished to give the Utes a 5-2 lead. 7:58 to play first quarter. Here is Talia Scott, second leading scorer in the Big 12, firing and hitting a 3 behind the screen. Tying the game at 5. Nice to see Talia Scott, who has struggled in the first half of games lately, Lori. Now, she still scored major points for the Bears, but she struggled in the first half, but here she hits her first 3.
Boy, and it feels good to see that one go through.
Here is Evans taking a little flip, cutting to the bucket, but she can't finish. Bugs was there to harass, and here come the Bears with a chance to claim their first lead of the night, 2.5 minutes in. Bella Fauntleroy has it high on the left side of the arc, around to KJ screen, but she's wide on a three. Rebound picked up off the floor by the point guard, Brooke Walker, and here come the Utes. It is Wilkie bouncing it down low along the baseline to Evans, who can't handle it. That's a turnover out of bounds to the Bears. Well, that is the first turnover of the game for the Utes. Second, I beg your pardon. Baylor has yet to cough it up, and now here comes Baylor back the other way. Jana Van Geitenbeek, step back three behind a KJ screen, and there's another one. She spins it in. A three behind KJ from Talia Scott a moment ago, and now Jana Van Geitenbeek gets in on the act. It's an 8-5. Baylor leads, 6:49 to play first quarter. Evans, top of the arc, harassed by KJ. Fires it right side of the arc to Walker. Walker on the hesitation drive, cut off in the post, flips it outside. They're going to bounce it down low to Evans. Tries to hit a cutting teammate on the back cut to the basket, and they lose the ball out of bounds. They cannot connect. That was Reese Ross cutting the basket. Baylor got a hand in the passing lane.
Hey, the fans don't like it, but way to go, Bella Fauntleroy. She just stayed right with that. You could have even called a travel. But Bella just made sure that she cut off the cut and did not allow Utah the ability to hang on to that basketball.
8-5 Baylor lead. Baylor 2 of 3 from downtown in the early going. 6:23 to play first quarter. Van Geitenbeek bounces down low to Bugs. Right baseline. Puts it on the floor. Hard dribble. Spins inside on Walker. Count it. And put her on the line. Dariana Littlepage Bugs. And that was a rugged drive to the basket there, and she's got a chance for a three-point play.
You know, Bugs is playing as confident as anybody in the country right now, and just a really powerful move and just nice off the glass. And now she'll get a bonus free throw out of it as Baylor doubles up Utah 10-5.
That foul is on Brooke Walker. That's the first on either team. Free throw is up, and Bugs completes.
And Bugs has been great from the free throw line again. She's just making her shot. She's coming off such a tremendous game when she was just perfect all over the place. 16 points, 13 rebounds, 7 of 7 from the field. She was just tremendous.
Bears on a 9-0 run. L.A. Snead checks in for Utah and kicks it back to Reese Ross, who misses a long three from the left side, but White chases down the offensive board. Here comes Snead, penetrating. Foul, she's denied. Kicks it back out to White. Drives downhill, 10 to shoot, gets inside and finishes. That ends Baylor's scoring run at 9 straight points, but the Bears still have the lead at 11-7. 5:42 to play opening quarter. Here's Bugs at the top of the arc as the Bears go back the other way on offense. Fauntleroy outside to KJ, right side to Talia Scott. Catch and shoot three is in and out. Bugs is called for a loose ball foul going after the rebound. Boy, she was harassed in there between two players.
Yeah, she was sandwiched, but it did go off of Bugs' hand, out of bounds.
Well, I didn't like the foul called on her. That's was a tough one there, but she's called for a foul. That's the first on the Bears.
And I think that was one thing that was so good about her also in the last game against Kansas is she only had one foul in that game.
11-7, Baylor with the lead. The Utes with possession. Here's White, their leading scorer, kicking it out to L.A. Snead, a good bench player, a guard. She sends it in the corner to the tall, lanky Reese Ross. Wants to drive on Bella. Cut her off on the left baseline. 4 seconds to shoot. Finds White in close, and she hits a little floater. That's 4 straight points scored by Utah after the Bears ran off 9 in a row. Halfway through the first quarter, it's a 2-point game. Jana Van Geitenbeek with a paint touch. They're going to kick it out to a wide-open Bella Fauntleroy, who knocks down Baylor's third three of the night.
Bella continues to make her way towards the top of the right now number 5 all-time in threes made, and she is just 6 away from passing Juicy Landrum for 4th all-time.
Here's Evans on a drive right side of the lane, and she finishes off the window. That makes it 14-11. Baylor with the ball and the lead. 4:25 to play in the first. Talia Scott drives left baseline and draws a foul. That will be L.A. Snead hit with that one. Her first, the team's second, and that will bring us to our first quarter media timeout. The 2025-26 women's basketball season is presented by Central National Bank. Proudly serving Central Texans in Waco, Temple, and Austin. Make difference. Bank Central, Central National Bank. Solid start for the Bears here in Salt Lake City. They lead Utah 14-11 with 4:24 to play first quarter on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Serving Texas since 2007, Magnolia Realty is a full-service brokerage led by expert industry knowledge and a commitment to community. With kindness and integrity at the forefront, every agent is equipped to help you navigate the market and make the real estate journey your own. Whether buying or selling, feel supported with an award-winning agent at your side from first offer to contract and close. Magnolia Realty serves cities including Waco, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, Temple. Learn more at magnoliarealty.com.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. When it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. But with the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. If you get a call saying they're going to lock you in jail for missing jury duty unless you pay a fine, that's fake. Scammers use scare tactics to force you to act without thinking. Just hang up the phone.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Good offensive start for the Bears. They have hit 5 of 8 shots, including 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, and they lead 14-11. Lori, I don't want to go overboard. Talia Scott has one of those made three-pointers, 3 points on 1 of 3 shooting, but worth noting that she has struggled with her shot a little bit in the last 3 games, just 18 of 61. Now she's continued to score, and Baylor's needed that. All 3 of those games Baylor wins, but it's nice to see her hit that first 3 early, and I don't know, I don't want to read too much, but I do think this team gains a little confidence when they see her hitting the early.
Oh, I do too, and they know that shooters are going to shoot, and she even said that in the postgame with us. I just got to shoot my way out of it. And, you knocked down that first one, but, she also has an assist in that game, and that assist came on Bella Fauntleroy's 3. So she found another player to be able to knock down a shot from the outside. Baylor in this first quarter had an 8-0 run where they came back from a 5-2 deficit to be able to take a 6-point lead. Lonnie White, who's just been on fire in her time back here at Utah after a semester away at Virginia Tech, got them back within 2 points, but then Baylor had Bella be able to hit a 3-pointer, and then Evans has got them back within 3. So 14-11 Baylor here midway through the first quarter from the Huntsman Center in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Lori, Colin Pirtle, our statistical guru, tells us that these 3 first quarter 3-pointers are the most first quarter 3-pointers Baylor has hit since the Alabama State game before Christmas. So you like the start. 4:24 to play first quarter. Baylor 14, Utah 11. Jana Van Geitenbeek will play it in along the baseline. Feeds it to Talia Scott for a corner catch and shoot 3. That's off the back rim. No offensive rebound, though. Kyla Abraham kick out. Open 3. Jana Van Geitenbeek is perfect from dead on top, and that doubles Baylor's lead to 6 at 17-11.
Offensive rebound from Kyla Abraham, and Kyla Abraham with an assist on Jana's 3.
Reese Ross driving at the other end for Utah, tries a spinning shot in the lane. A nifty move to shake Kyla Abraham, but she missed the layup, but Baylor fumbles the rebound out of bounds. So Utah's going to keep it back. Substitution for the Utes. Evie Otto checks in off the bench, a 6'2 freshman forward from Latvia. Under 4 minutes to play in the first. Otto takes the inbounds pass from the baseline, fakes a handoff to Wilkie. Now gives it outside to Grace Foster, who just checked in, and Foster cutting to the edge is fouled by Bella Fauntleroy. That's grabbed there from Bella, her first foul, team second. 3:54 to play, opening quarter. Baylor up 17-11, Utah with possession. L.A. Sneed looking to play it in, feeds it in the corner to Reese Ross, but she cannot clear a throat from 3. Ross now wants to drive, gets inside, has her shot blocked from behind by Kyla Abraham. Kyla averages nearly 2 of those per game. And Baylor, of course, one of the best teams in the nation, in that leads the Big 12 in blocks per game. Here's Dariana Littlepage Bucks, hard drive, nice dish off in the paint to a cutting Abraham for 2. She slipped behind the defense, Lori, and finished on the nice dish from Bugs.
I think everybody thought Bella was just, not Bella, but Bugs was going to the rim, including me, but she stopped that bounce pass, and Kyla was ready for it from the right side.
Well, that's a great job at both ends by Kyla. Block at one end, and a finish at the other. And now Baylor smothers the look here from Otto inside. It's out of bounds, and the Utes will keep it with 3:14 to play first quarter.
Well, you think the last 2 points or 5 points scored by Baylor, Kyla had something to do with them. She pulled down that offensive rebound and got the assist to Jana Van Geitenbeek on that three from the top of the key, and then Kyla scoring on Bug's assist.
Ting Dunn checks in for the Bears for the first time. Ting averaging nearly 9 points per game off the bench. Here's White driving beneath the bucket, trying a tough reverse layup and throwing it over everything. Jana Van Geitenbeek comes away with it. The Bears with the ball and an 8-point lead. An opportunity to add to it. Talia Scott high on the right sideline, will not try a shot. Drives around a Bug screen. Now she will try a step back three. It is short, and the high point rebound is grabbed by White. Baylor is 4 of 7 from beyond the arc here in the early going. 2:40 to play first quarter. It's a 19-11 Baylor lead. Sneed feeds it to Wilke, just checked in off the bench, high left. Now to Otto. Otto fakes a pass to White. Does pass to White, who has room. She shoots a three. No good. Long rebound is corralled by Bugs.
5 straight shots missed by Utah. 4 of those have been layups at the rim that they've missed.
Ting Dunn with possession for the Bears. Pushes it to Abraham Talk at the top of the arc. Now further out perimeter right to Scott. Back to Bugs. They're going to swing it left side to Ting. Ting guarded by White. Drives inside. Gets a step, and there was a lot of contact there on both sides. I don't think that was a foul. She just lost her footing in there and lost the basketball.
Yeah, she was just trying to reset herself, which we've seen her do on the inside, but Baylor's defense gives up a three in transition.
Grace Foster knocks it down. That makes it a 5-point Baylor lead at 19-14, under 2 minutes to play in the first. Bugs a hard drive on Crisp, loses it, gets it back, spins it outside to Talia Scott with 15 to shoot. Scott, a left elbow jumper way off the mark, and the rebound kicks hard out to White. White outs it ahead to L.A. Sneed. Here they come in transition. She gets Talia Scott off her feet and glasses it in from the left block. That's 5 straight points scored by the Utes, making it 19-16 with a minute and a half to go in the first quarter. KJ will return next opportunity. Jana Van Geitenbeek thought about a three, now drives inside. There's a little kick out to KJ, a jumper, or Abraham rather, a jumper from the top of the key. Not what Coach Nikki wanted. She missed it, and here come the Utes. It is White in transition, kicking it out to Crisp. There's a pass in the post to Otto. Spins inside on Abraham, swats her shot away. That's 2 first quarter blocks by Kyla Abraham. Under a minute to go first quarter. Talia Scott slows it down. They feed it to Van Geitenbeek left corner. Jana wants to drive around an Abraham screen, needs to get rid of it, and does to Kyla. Now Bugs, right edge, flips it to Ting. Ting on the drive, pops a free throw line jumper and buries it. That snaps a 2-minute and 39-second Baylor scoring drought and pushes the lead back to 5 at 21-16. 33 seconds to play first quarter, 8 seconds between the clocks. Baylor should get another crack at it if they can get a stop or an offensive rebound. Here's White popping a free throw line jumper and answering from the left elbow.
Boy, and she was challenged at the rim as well.
That makes it 21-18. Bears can play for the last shot with the first quarter shot clock dark. Jana Van Geitenbeek gives it off to Bugs, now to Ting with 10 seconds to shoot. Oh, and a moving screen is called on Dariana Littlepage Bugs, and that's Bugs' second foul. And that is going to give Utah another look here in the first quarter and is likely going to pull Bugs from the game for a little bit. Scott, Abraham, and Bugs exit. Bella Fauntleroy, KJ, and Markayla Johnson are all in for the Bears. Meanwhile, Avery Jelmstad is in for the Utes for the first time, a 6'1 freshman off the bench who's seen meaningful playing time for them. Utah plays it in with 5, with 4. Markayla Johnson guarding Sneed. Sneed drives inside, flips it up and off, and that's the way the first quarter draws to a close. Baylor 21, Utah 18, our score at the end of 1. Hello to everyone watching on the Nextlink Courtside Cam. Nextlink, reliable high-speed internet for your home or business. We're also brought to you by Pepsi. Hey, Bears fans, this basketball season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink for basketball watching. Pepsi, that's what I like. Proud partner of Baylor Athletics. Baylor by 3 at the end of 1 here in Salt Lake City on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is a longtime supporter of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Baylor fans are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and get your own custom Baylor Bear debit card. With 6 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
It's the wrap-up year sales event at Allen Samuels in Waco. Get the 2025 Ram 1500 Lone Star with 0% for 72 months or 3.9% for 72 months, plus 10% below MSRP and $2,000 in Black Friday select inventory cash. Check out the huge selection of 2026 Ram 2500s, now with $4,000 combined bonus cash allowance, backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Hurry, these year-end savings won't last long at Allen Samuels.
Come by. Let's be friends.
That sounds good. To Baylor women's basketball on the
Okay.
Baylor Sports Media Network.
Back here in Salt Lake City, where the Bears have a 3-point edge at the end of the first quarter. Baylor 4 of 7 beyond the arc and 8 of 15 overall. Utah 8 of 19. But they have picked up 4 more shots than the Bears have, thanks in part to 4 offensive rebounds. The Bears have one early, and Lori, that's one area the Bears want to improve on, is on the glass. They fumbled a couple out of bounds, and want to improve in that area because you don't want to give Utah extra opportunities at home.
Yeah, when you think about how they really crashed the boards hard on the inside, especially early, and they got those 4 extra offensive possessions because of 4 offensive rebounds. Baylor has just 1, but it was a big one, too. Kyla Abraham, big in the middle, did not go back up with it, but turned around and fouled Jana straight up, straight at the top of the key, stepped into a 3 and hit it. So Baylor got some points off of an offensive rebound, those second chance points, but Baylor certainly would like to have some more of those and continue to hit the boards hard. And it's going to be a little bit more difficult because you had Dariana Littlepage Buggs pick up her second foul on a moving screen with under 1 minute left to play here in the first quarter.
Lonnie White, Utah's leading scorer at 14 per game, leads them with 9 points. She leads all scorers in this game through 1 quarter. Meanwhile, Jana Van Geitenbeek pacing the Bears. She has 6 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. 21-18, Baylor with the lead. Utah with possession. It is Sneed, Jelmstead, Ross, Otto, and one other player as Jelmstead misses a 3, but the offensive rebound grabbed by Otto, and she glasses it back up and in to pull Utah to within 1. That's 6 second chance points now for the Utes. The other player out there for the Utah Utes defensively is Reese Ross. Baylor on offense with Van Geitenbeek, Johnson, Dunn, Fauntleroy, and KJ. Dunn behind a screen unloads and is perfect on a 3. That's 5 threes now for the Bears. She has such a pretty shot from beyond the arc, and that one floated in perfectly from the left edge.
And give an assist to MJ, Markayla Johnson.
Utah loses the ball out of bounds on a drive. That was Wilkie who just checked back in. Wilkie lost it on the baseline, and so Baylor will try to score points off of turnovers. Baylor has 6 of them so far.
Yeah, and only 2 turnovers at that until the third one there, and see if they can get some more, maybe another big 3.
Markayla has it top edge, feeds it left elbow to KJ, fires it back outside to Van Geitenbeek. We've got a whistle away from the ball. Was that a 3-second call?
No, I think it's a foul on Bella. That's
her
second.
Foul. Wow. Well, Bella Fauntleroy and Dariana Littlepage Buggs both have 2 fouls apiece, and you've got 2 of your key players, 2 of your better defensive presences, both playing with 2 fouls. Now, Buggs is on the bench. Bella's staying out there.
Yeah, the only fouls called in this game so far, just 4 on Baylor, but both of them by Bella and Littlepage Buggs with 2 each.
Jelmstead has it for Utah at the other end. Baylor with the 4-point lead. The Utes with possession. Pass out Sneed to L.A. Sneed, one of their top bench players. Sneed, hesitation dribble, pops a jumper left to the key, and it's too strong. Weak side rebound, high pointed by Markayla Johnson. She's got for that one. And here's Van Geitenbeek feeding Ting. Catch and shoot 3 is off the mark. Offensive rebound, though, by KJ, but she rushed the putback attempt. Missed it. In fact, you hear Coach Nicky telling her to take her time on that. However, Baylor's going to maintain possession as the ball is out of bounds off the rebound.
Yeah,
of the
Bella
Bears.
was really challenging for that rebound, and thank goodness she was, because that was a good look from Ting, but it came up short and it kind of grazed the front of the side of the basket, and that was a tough one to be able to corral. But Bella will will exit the game now with 2 fouls. Her second one she picked up a minute ago, and Kayla Nelms is in the game now.
Nelms averaging 4 points, 2.5 rebounds off the bench this season for the Bears. Van Geitenbeek plays it in to Ting for a catch-and-shoot baseline jumper. No. Another offensive rebound by KJ. Extra pass outside. Markayla Johnson for 3 on line, but too strong. This rebound hits the floor, and it is grabbed by White for the Utes. White wants to take it all the way inside, feeds it to a cutting Reese Ross Rinrumming. That's what she do, but she misses. Well, it does, but she misses the runner. Offensive rebound, though, to Utah. Kick out to White. Bears dodge a bullet there as she leaves the open 3 short, and it trickles out of bounds into the Baylor bench. It'll be Baylor possession.
Baylor right now at 50% from beyond the arc. Just 25% for Utah. They're 2 of 8. But getting those opportunities on those second chances, that's scary.
Bears have missed their last 4 shots. Worth noting, so far rebounding even at 13 apiece, but Utah has 6 offensive rebounds. The Bears have Kayla Johnson. She dribbles into the front court, finds Dunn. Dunn wanted to drive, but decided better of it. Bounces down for the Utes. That one was tipped back out to the perimeter where Walker snagged it. 6.5 to play in the opening half of basketball. Evans swings it left side. Here's another look at a 3 and another miss by the Utes. That was Jelmstead off the mark. KJ with the rebound, and here come the Bears once again trying to extend their 4-point lead. Just 3 points by the Bears in the first 4 minutes, although they've held Utah to just 2 in the second quarter's first 4 minutes. Markayla Johnson at the free throw line. Fires it outside to Talia Scott. Offense been a little stagnant here in the second. Scott to KJ. Single digits on the shot clock. KJ with a left-hand dribble. Hands it off to Markayla with 5 to shoot. With 4 from the top of the key. She pops a jumper. No good. Kayla Nelms fights for the rebound with Reese Ross, but it trickles out to White. Outlet it ahead to Walker, and here come the Utes once again. Score's been at 24-20 for a while. Ross tries to change that, but she misses the runner right of the lane. Another rebound for KJ.
Have had trouble finishing at the rim today. Thank goodness.
Here is Talia Scott around a Nelms screen, steps back, lets a 3 fly. You can see that off the mark. The moment her left her hand, it's an air ball, and then as KJ grabs the offensive rebound, her pass is a little sloppy out to the perimeter, and it's stolen by the Utes. It's a 24-20 Baylor lead. Utah with possession. Kyra Evans has it at the top edge. Now sends it in the corner to Jelmstead. Back to Evans. She wants to bang inside on Nelms, and she finishes from the left block. Well, that snapped a string of 8 straight misses by the Utes. Baylor has missed 9 in a row. It's 24-22. Baylor halfway through the second quarter.
What is it about the second quarter?
I don't know. Baylor scored, 5 points against Colorado in the second a week ago.
We can tell you when you don't have Bugs and you don't have Bella in there, that's tough.
Oh, KJ had a good look at a 3 pop in and out. And here comes Utah. 24-22, Baylor with the lead, in Utah with a gift to the Bears as Walker feeds it into the corner and nobody is home. 4:39 to play here in the opening half. It is 24-22, and Coach Nikki has just sent Inez Goryanova, the red shirt freshman, onto the floor to make her Baylor debut out of the timeout. Not a whole lot of scoring in this second quarter. Utah scored 4. Baylor has scored 3, and it's a 2-point Baylor lead with 4:39 to go. Hey, Bears fans, this basketball season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink for basketball watching. Pepsi, that's what I like. Proud partner of Baylor Athletics. We'll take a time out and come back to Salt Lake City after this here on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Bluebonnet Health Services has been caring for Central Texans since 2004. Bluebonnet is locally owned and operated, which allows them the most interaction with patients each and every day, promoting compassionate care and integrity. They provide hands-on attention to their patients through a staff with years of experience. Bluebonnet Health Services provides home health care, supportive care, and hospice. Remember, it's your health, your choice. Ask your doctor for Bluebonnet Health Services.
Slam that cash with First Central Credit Union. Create a full court press with First Central's free checking that pays you cash back and refunds fees from other banks' ATMs. Enjoy free reward checking and be the MVP of a new cashback season. It's an easy bank shot. Apply online at firstcentralcu.com. We're your team.
Everything we do, it's true. We do for you.
Eligibility and qualifications apply. Member NCUA.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Well, not a lot of scoring, as we said before the break in this second quarter. Baylor, who scored just 5 points against Colorado last week at home in a Baylor win, has just 3 points in the first 5 minutes and 21 seconds of the second quarter. However, as we also said in that game, Lori, defense covers a multitude of sins. Utah scored just 4 points in the second quarter, and despite the frigid offensive second quarter, Baylor still has a tight lead, a slim lead, 24-22.
Yeah, Baylor 0 of its last 10, Utah 1 of its last 9, but that one got them back within 2 points. It's 24-22, but as you said before we came back, we're about to see the first action in a couple of years for Inez Goryanova.
You got a Goryanova.
I'm so used to saying her name, just Nez,
yeah.
that I just blanked on her last name. But, she was in the top 100 by ESPNW. She's a great facilitator and smart point guard, and that's what Baylor needs right now. And I can understand why Coach Nicky would put her in there. Baylor's defense, without Bella and Bugs in there, just got stagnant. Kira Pemberton's back in the game, or inserted into the game as well. Baylor's just got to be able to and after they got the gift of the turnover from Utah, Baylor's got to be able to do something right here.
Well, you've got 2 ball handlers on the floor in Jana Van Geitenbeek and Inez Goryanova, who has officially made her Baylor debut as the Bears play it in. Van Geitenbeek hands it off to Goryanova, angling to the free throw line and flipping it to a cutting Kira Pemberton, who also checked in. A nice dish down low to Abraham, who can't finish from point-blank range. Oh, that was a good play drawn up, and boy, Coach Nicky changing things up. Kira Pemberton getting some early run. Baylor by 2, but Crisp tries to change that, leaves a flip short from the right block, gets her own rebound, finds White in the corner, who misses a 3. Another offensive rebound, this time by Evans, but the Bears tie her up, and the jump ball will give it back to the Bears as the possession arrow goes Baylor's way. So, Lori, I think Coach Nicky's sending a message. I think 2 things. One is you're without Bugs and Bella due to foul trouble, as you said, so that changes things. But also, Coach Nicky hasn't liked what she's seen, so she's brought in a couple players you don't see or haven't seen as much, and Inez Goryanova making her Baylor debut, and Kira Pemberton getting some early minutes. Pemberton 2.5 points and 1.5 rebounds per game.
Yeah, one thing that we saw from Jana got the ball to Nez. Nez put the ball on the floor and penetrated and got into the lane. And that's the important thing. You got to touch the lane with your guards. And Goryanova got the ball to Kira. She started inside. A lot of people in the lane. And that was a scary bounce pass, but it was right to Abraham. She just couldn't finish at the rim.
Baylor by 2. Goryanova has the basketball. 4 minutes to play first quarter. Goryanova tries to dish it in a crowd to Abraham, but it's slapped away and stolen by the Utes. Walker comes out of there with it. They have another chance to tie or take the lead. They're just 1 for their last 11. Baylor is 0 for its last 11. Walker bounces up top to White. Lonnie White behind an Evans screen, moves back to the right side again, bounces inside to a cutting Evans, has her shot blocked on the way up by Kyla Abraham. That's 3 Kyla blocks here in the first half. 3.5 minutes to play first half. Here's Van Geitenbeek around an Abraham screen. She thought about a jumper, then feeds it inside to Abraham, who goes up hard with it, determined, and she's fouled. Free throws are coming. That'll go against Kyra Evans, her first, and the team's first here on the Utes, and it will send Abraham, a 50% free throw shooter, to the line. These Baylor just 1 free throw taken so far, and that was by Bugs to complete a 3-point play. Yuting Dunn will check in for the Bears, and the officials motion her in. She checks in for Inez Goryanova, who made her Baylor debut here, and we'll see. Maybe we'll see her again before too long. Yuting Dunn is back in. Dunn 2 of 4 with 5 points off the bench. First free throw by Abraham, no good. She's got 1 more coming. Bears out there with Van Geitenbeek, Scott, Dunn, Pemberton, and Abraham. Student section is making noise as Abraham's second free throw is perfect. Connolly drains it.
Yeah, she, hitting at her 50% pace. She knocked them both down. It's important to get at least 1 point because Baylor has not had any field goals in the last 6 minutes and 7 seconds.
25-22, Baylor with the lead. Utah driving, and a runner good by Brooke Walker down the right side of the lane, left side of the lane rather, off glass. She finishes. It's a 1-point Baylor lead. The Bears have possession. Here's Van Geitenbeek around a Pemberton string, gets downhill, puts up a tough runner and finishes. Falling away on the left block, she flipped it in. 8 points for Jana Van Geitenbeek. The Baylor lead is 3. Under 3 minutes to play second quarter. Kyra Evans determined to get a shot up around. Boy, good defense of Kyla Abraham. And Abraham forces the pass out of bounds. It'll stay with Utah, but she just didn't let Evans get a shot. Pemberton will exit and back in for the Bears. KJ, Kirsten Johnson.
Oh, Baylor goes double big inside with Kyla and KJ.
20 seconds on the shot clock for the Utes. It's a 27-24 Baylor lead. 2:47 to play before halftime. Evans feeds it outside to White. White dribbles back behind the arc and spins it outside to Grace Walker, or excuse me, that was Grace Foster, I beg your pardon. Now it's Sneed driving in the lane, trying to clear some room. KJ stays with her. She feeds it outside to Foster, who misses a contested three. KJ with the rebound for the Bears. That's 6 of them in the first half for the 6'4 senior. Hesitation dribble by Van Geitenbeek. Circles beneath the bucket, spins it outside to Yu-Ting Dunn. Dunn around a screen, drives inside, lost the ball. Chased down by Talia Scott on the left wing. Still plenty of time to shoot. Talia Scott driving on the baseline and drawing the foul. She's knocked hard to the ground along the baseline. That is L.A. Sneed with the foul, her second and the team's second. It's going to reset the shot clock to 20.
Yeah, that's the first time I think there's been some contact on Talia Scott. She just hasn't been able to get inside to be able to touch anybody or to anybody to be able to make contact with her.
Baylor and Utah have each scored 6 points apiece in this second quarter. Baylor by 3 with the ball. Inbound from Van Geitenbeek to Scott. Scott gives it to KJ, takes the handoff right back, shaves across the top of the arc, outside to Van Geitenbeek, 10 on the shot clock. Jana wants to drive around a KJ screen, gets downhill, cut off by the taller Evans, swings the elbows, 5 to shoot, outside to Scott. Scott's going to have to let it fly. Does she realize? She does. She got it off, and she hit the 3. A little bit of desperation, but why not? She hit the 3 at the shot clock buzzer to push the Baylor lead to 6.
She doesn't need much space, and I think not even be able to think about it, to be able to get the ball off. When it left her hand, you saw it going straight in, and then Baylor forces a turnover on the other side. Baylor will get the ball back with 1:37 left. They've extended their lead back to 6.
A Utah walk there faced due to good defense from the Bears. Wipes off a made 3 that they just hit, but doesn't count due to the travel. Under 90 seconds to play second quarter. Jana Van Geitenbeek's bounce pass is kicked by Reese Ross, who just returned for the Utes. 8 points for Jana Van Geitenbeek to lead the Bears, 9 for Lonnie White to lead all scores for Utah. Inbound to Van Geitenbeek. She gets downhill, left of the lane, bounces up top to Nelms. Pass knocked away, but she got it back. And here is Dunn. Dunn with a hesitation dribble and a fall-away jumper off that dribble that's no good. Not the best look there, despite their offensive tools that she has. Here comes Utah with the rebound. Baylor up by 6, just over a minute to play second quarter. Evans is open for 3, but she left it short. Rebound drops into the hands of Kayla Nelms. Baylor with under a minute to play first half, back the other way. Talia Scott open, off the dribble, bang from the left elbow. About a 16-footer from Talia Scott to push the Baylor lead to 8. Baylor is on a 7-0 run, and they nearly get the ball back. The Bears knock the outlet pass away, and it's out of bounds. It'll stay with the Utes as Maddie Wilkie checks back in for Grace Foster for the Utes.
Well, Baylor on a 7-0 run after they couldn't buy a basket, but have done that over the last 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Utah to play it in from the baseline. L.A. Sneed having a little trouble, but the last minute, Wilkie comes and gets in the right corner. Wilkie, top of the arc, bounces down low to Evans. It's a lazy entry pass, but Evans is able to corral it, and then perhaps thrown off by the proceedings, feeds it into the second row of his seats, and that's a turnover. Baylor by 8, a 7-0 run over the last 2 minutes and 19 seconds after the Bears had scored at just 4 points in the first 5+ minutes of this second quarter.
Utah's cleared that first quarter on a 7-2 run. Let's see what Baylor can do on this 7-0 run.
KJ left elbow, 15 seconds to shoot, 9 between the clocks. KJ feeds it back out to Van Geitenbeek. Back to KJ. Good look at a 3 left side. Knocks it down. And a foul called on Utah as Van Geitenbeek hits the floor.
Oh.
That'll work for the Bears. KJ knocks down the 3. Her first scoring of the night. And then the foul.
Are they got to go look at that to see if the foul occurred first before the before
they
the
will.
three?
That is what they will do. We'll take a look here. Well, hopefully it's simultaneous.
On the floor is a defensive foul. We're reviewing to determine if the foul occurred while the shot was in motion.
Well, there you have it. As our officials here will look at this one.
What I would like to see is the foul occur after the three was in the air.
Yes, me too.
And then you have an opportunity at the 5-point play. Well, I don't know if you do. I don't know how many fouls. Utah still has a foul to give.
That was close to simultaneous.
Close.
I don't think they're going to overrule that.
It's good.
It's good. They checked. All right, there you go. So Baylor hits the three from KJ to go up 35-24. Call on the floor is confirmed, which means Jana Van Geitenbeek is fouled. Now, that's just the third foul on Utah, so it'll be Baylor basketball.
But that's the other thing, man. You have a chance here at a 5-point, maybe 6-point swing. And Baylor, again, 10-0 run over just 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And all the way through, just 3 minutes left in this quarter, they had scored 3 or 4 points.
And now with the shot clock dark, Lori, Baylor can play for the last shot as well. That foul, by the way, on Kyra Evans, her second for their starting post player. Talia Scott has it center, jump circle, shot clock dark, running down with 9, with 8. She starts her drive top of the arc with 6, with 5, double teamed, 4 seconds to go. She'll let a mid-range jumper fly off the mark, no good. Reese rebounds, and that'll do it on the first half. The Bears close on a 10-0 run and lead by double digits at halftime, 35-24. Lauren, they're teaching every moment a teachable moment. They're talking to Talia Scott about that last possession. She sort of got herself in a little trouble and had to try a tough shot. And, you don't like to see that, but you do like to see the way this quarter closed.
You do, and especially as I was saying earlier, Baylor was up by 8 points, and then with 2 minutes left in the end of the first quarter, you had a 7-2 run to close out the quarter by Utah. And I know Coach Nicky wasn't happy about that because it was just a 3-point lead for Baylor at the end of the first quarter. You never had Utah able to get within more than 1 point. It was 25-24 with 3 minutes left to go in the second quarter, and all of a sudden Baylor just had life on Jana Van Geitenbeek getting inserted back into the game and getting that layup at the rim. Talia Scott hits a 3, just a prayer that went up, and I think that energized Baylor just a little bit. Nelms scored, and then KJ on an assist from Jana Van Geitenbeek with 18 seconds left drains another 3. Coming into this game, KJ was 10 for 15 from the 3-point line. She doesn't shoot a lot, not a high-volume shooter, but boy, is she efficient from out there at 66%.
Well, and she's a big part of the reason that Baylor has been good from downtown tonight, 7 of 15 at intermission. We'll have our Nissan halftime report coming up next from the Huntsman Center in Salt Lake City, where Baylor leads 35-24 at halftime on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Want to be the energy our Bears need? Go gold with Baylor Athletics this season and be the gold factor across each of our sports. Wear exclusive Gold apparel from the Baylor Bookstore and the Spirit Shop at upcoming Go Gold dates. Stay up to date on all your golden opportunities to create an electric home atmosphere by visiting BaylorBears.com/Go Gold. Sic 'em Bears.
See why Green Eye Associates is voted best in Waco year after year. Enjoy exceptional service and care from Dr. Leanne Green alongside her dedicated optometrist and staff. Receive trustworthy insights on your eye health, enjoy the impressive variety of contacts and eyewear, and work with the most experienced optical team in Waco. Don't miss the new state-of-the-art dry eye therapies that rejuvenate the eyes and face with safe, non-invasive treatments to restore comfort and quality of life. Green Eye Associates, official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
We don't just build trucks. We build something that's meant to last. That's why the 2026 Toyota Tundra isn't just built in Texas. It's built by Texas, which means the Tundra is built to tough it out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. Built to roll with the punches and to go the distance. Built stronger, built louder, built here. The 2026 Toyota Tundra. Built in Texas, driven everywhere. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today.
Right now, qualified buyers get 2.99% APR financing for 72 months, plus $1,000 of Vention cash on a new 2026 Tundra. Toyota, let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for offer details. Offer available in select states and ends 2/2/26.
You're listening to live coverage of Baylor women's basketball. Now, it's time for the Nissan Halftime Show. Brought to you by Central National Bank, proud season sponsor of Baylor women's basketball. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, championship partner of Baylor Athletics. Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance online to find a local agent today. Nissan, innovation that excites. Libman, America's trusted brand name in cleaning. Premier ER and Urgent Care. Feel better now. Stay tuned as we break down the first half. Check in on scores and more. All coming up on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Well, it was a good close to the first half for the Bears, who scored the last 10 points here in Salt Lake City, leading into intermission to open up a 35-24 lead over a good Utah team that has won 10 of their last 11 games. We welcome you into the Nissan Halftime Report. Nissan, innovation that excites. Let's take a look at the stats in this one and note that Baylor had to play much of the second quarter without Dariana Littlepage Buggs and Bella Fauntleroy, each of whom picked up 2 fouls apiece in the opening half of basketball. As such, Buggs played only 10 minutes, Bella only 9, but Baylor was able to get it done even in their absence. Baylor, who is top 4 in the nation in three-point percentage defense and top 10 in the nation in field goal percentage defense overall, looks like they're going to stay pretty steady there or even advance there if they can do anything like they did in the first half and the second. Baylor holds Utah to 11 of 37 shooting. That's under 30%. That means it's taken Utah 37 shots to get 24 points, and they're 2 of 14, 14% behind the arc. Baylor hasn't been perfect from the field, 39%, 13 of 33, but good from downtown, 47%, 7 of 15. Baylor is 2 of 3 from the free throw line. The Bears have forced 7 Utah turnovers and given it up just 5 times and outscored the Utes off those miscues 9-5. Utah with the edge on the glass, 25-21. They've scored 6 second chance points to the Baylor's 3, thanks to a 10-5 edge on the offensive glass. Balanced scoring for both teams. For the Utes, it is Lonnie White with 9 points on 4 of 9 shooting, but she had 9 points at the end of the first quarter, none in the second. 6 points for Kyra Evans to go along with 5 rebounds. White with 5 rebounds and 3 assists as well. 3 points for Grace Foster. No one else has more than 2 for Utah. For the Bears, it's been another cold shooting night from Talia Scott, but she did hit 2 big threes. She has 6 points on 2 of 11 shooting, including 2 of 6 from beyond the arc. But it's Jana Van Geitenbeek leading the way offensively. 8 points on 3 of 3 field goals, including 2 threes. She's got 2 rebounds and 2 assists. After that, 5 points off the bench for Yu Ting Dunn. Kirsten Johnson with 3 points and 6 rebounds. Meanwhile, after that, 3 points for Kyla Abraham to go along with 3 blocked shots. Buggs with 3 points and 2 rebounds as well in limited playing time. Bella Fauntleroy with 5 points. We saw the Baylor debut of Inez Goryanova, who did not score in a minute of action. The redshirt freshman from Bulgaria making her Baylor debut. Kira Pemberton also played 2 minutes, had a rebound for the Bears. Markayla Johnson played 6 minutes and had a pair of rebounds and an assist for the Bears. It all adds up to a 35-24 Baylor lead at halftime. We'll take a break on the Nissan Halftime Report, and when we come back, Lori will take a look at scores, including a dramatic finish in Morgantown today between the Mountaineers and the TCU Horned Frogs. That is next when we come back in Salt Lake City on the Baylor Sports Media Network. I'll leave this up.
Want to be the energy our Bears need? Go gold with Baylor Athletics this season and be the gold factor across each of our sports. Wear exclusive Go Gold apparel from the Baylor Bookstore and the Spirit Shop at upcoming Go Gold dates. Stay up to date on all your golden opportunities to create an electric home atmosphere by visiting BaylorBears.com/Go Gold. Sic 'em Bears.
Hi, I'm Jim Turner at Jim Turner Chevrolet in McGregor. As we celebrate our 10th year anniversary, I want to say thank you to all of our customers. Our dealership is more than a business to me. That's why when you come see us for a reliable new Chevy or award-winning service, we treat you like family. Come see our new collision center, now open to serve you even better for many years to come. Enjoy the game, then come see us at Jim Turner Chevrolet in McGregor. Together, let's drive.
Hellberg Barbecue is a family-owned business started here in Waco, Texas, and proud to serve the local area. They love to cater all kinds of events, big and small. Serving Baylor and its families is one of their favorite things, and they even ship barbecue nationwide. Check them out while here in Waco or online and support one of Waco's local barbecue restaurants, Hellberg Barbecue. Salt, pepper, and a whole lot of prayer. Proudly serving Texas since 2007, Magnolia Realty is a full-service brokerage and a trusted neighbor, bridging expert industry knowledge with integrity and kindness. Known for their award-winning agents, Magnolia Realty understands the dynamics of making the real estate journey your own and the importance of trust from contract to close. You can find their local agents here in Waco and across the state, including in Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, and Temple. To get connected and learn more, visit magnoliarealty.com. Here's to home.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Welcome back to the Huntsman Center here on the campus of the University of Utah in Salt Lake City. Baylor closes the half on a 10-0 run, and they lead the Utes 35-24 at the half. Let's take a look at some scores around the Big 12 Conference. And in fact, one of the games came down to the wire, this one in Morgantown, West Virginia, as number 10 TCU gets a last-second buzzer-beating three-pointer with TCU having only 2 seconds to be able to get the ball in. But Suarez gets a three as time expires from 25 feet out, and number 10 TCU wins 51-50 over West Virginia. Also, another game that was very close went to overtime. Cincinnati visiting UCF in Orlando, and the Bearcats get the win over the Golden Knights 63-59. In that game, Cincinnati was led by 24 points from Maya Perry, who has just been tearing it up for the Cincinnati Bearcats. At Lawrence, Kansas, Kansas drops another one, this time to the Cowgirls of Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State wins by 9 points over the Jayhawks, 85-76. Also underway right now in Boulder, Colorado, number 19 Iowa State visiting the Buffaloes, and Iowa State with a 4-point lead at the half, 29-25. Sonia Harris leads Iowa State with 9 points, and for Colorado, Desiree Wooten has a total of 12 for the Colorado Buffaloes. But again, the scores from the big one for tonight, TCU, number 10 in the country, comes back and defeats West Virginia on the road with a last-second three-pointer from 25 feet out, with the Frogs winning 51-50. Our score again here at the half in the Huntsman Center in Salt Lake City. It's the Baylor Bears 35, the Utah Utes 24. We'll be back to get you ready for the second half in just a moment. You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right. Oh, I like it. So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip. Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Bluebonnet Health Services has been caring for Central Texans since 2004. Bluebonnet is locally owned and operated, which allows them the most interaction with patients each and every day, promoting compassionate care and integrity. They provide hands-on attention to their patients through a staff with years of experience. Bluebonnet Health Services provides home health care, supportive care, and hospice. Remember, it's your health, your choice. Ask your doctor for Bluebonnet Health Services.
Are you tired of slow internet? Are data caps and throttling making it impossible to stream your favorite shows and movies? If so, it sounds like it's time to switch to Nextlink Internet. With Nextlink, there are no data caps and no throttling, just super fast internet speeds, up to 1 gig over wireless in some areas. Plus, Nextlink is an official partner of Baylor Athletics. So don't wait another minute. Give Nextlink a call or go online to nextlinkinternet.com to see what special offers are available to you. Blazing fast internet is just a click or phone call away. Sick 'em, Bears!
Kids can now join the Baylor Cub Club, the official kids club of Baylor Athletics, presented by Green Eye Associates. Fans 12 and under can register for the low cost of $25 and gain exclusive benefits and access to Baylor Athletics events. Members receive free admission to select events, exclusive giveaway access, and their own membership package. To register your Cub, please visit BaylorBears.com/Cub Club. Sign your Cub up today.
Fox Sports Radio, 93.9 K230 CK and KRMX HD3 Waco.
You've been listening to the Nissan Halftime Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network. Brought to you by TFNB, the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, championship partner of Baylor Athletics. Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance online to find a local agent today. Nissan, innovation that excites. Libman, America's trusted brand name in cleaning. Premier ER and Urgent Care. Feel better now. Stay tuned as we get set for the second half action with the Baylor Bears as we rejoin Derek Smith live from Courtside, bringing you the second half of action and more. All coming up on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Appreciate you being with us on the Nissan Halftime Report. Nissan, innovation that excites. We're just about ready to start the third quarter here in Utah. One scoring note, they updated the stats to note that Talia Scott actually is tied with Jana Van Geitenbeek for the team lead with 8 points on 3 of 12 shooting. They credited her bucket earlier to Kayla Nelms, but it was Talia Scott who hit that. So if you are keeping track at home, there's a note of that. Lori, of more importance here right now, Baylor closed the first half on a 10-0 run, and they held Utah to under 30% shooting and under 20% from downtown. Anything close to that, if you can keep that effort up defensively, a competent offense puts you in really good shape, and that's going to be the goal. You know you're going to get Utah's best effort. This is a team that's won 10 of their last 11 games. They had a TCU, their only loss. You know they're going to try to come out strong here in the third.
Yeah, absolutely. They get the ball first to start this half, and you know, both teams have gone into the locker room. They talked about what happened during the first 20, and both teams will be adjusting to one another. So this will be really interesting, the final 20 minutes.
Utah with their original starters out there. It is Walker, White, Ross, Wilkie, and one other player out there for them. That is Walker. And a quick runner is good for Utah. Kyra Evans, who struggled in the first half. 4 of 9 shooting. She finishes here. Actually, she was 3 of 8 shooting, but now she hits one here. And Baylor back at the other end, up by a score of 35-26. Bugs is back in after limited minutes with foul trouble, and on the drive, she loses the basketball. That's a turnover, and here comes Utah the other way. It is Wilkie over to Evans, left side. Evans bounces to a cutting Walker for the layup. They love those basket cuts, a backdoor cut along the baseline, and they've scored the third quarter's first 4 points. Talia Scott drives baseline, and that's the second turnover in as many possessions. She threw it into a crowd. Walker with a hesitation dribble, left the runner short, and then the rebound spiked out of bounds to the Bears. Utah's players on the floor and their fans want it to be their ball, but it is coming back Baylor's way for the Bears. Then Geitenbeek, Scott, Fauntleroy, Bugs, and KJ. Baylor by 7. Utah scored the first 4 points of the third quarter. KJ at the free throw line, hands off to Scott, pulls up for a jumper that's in and out, left of the lane, and the rebound is grabbed by Walker. They're running again. Outlet ahead to White. White into the paint, left edge, tries a turnaround and is denied by Bella Fauntleroy. Bella Fauntleroy almost nonchalant as she snuffed that shot out. 8:37 to play, third quarter. Baylor trying to get another defensive stop here. Utah has scored the first 4 points of the third. Walker spins it in to White. White out to Wilkie. They're going to hook it to Evans along the left baseline. Extra pass outside. Here's a three by Walker. Back rim, no. And Bug soars for the rebound. Both hands, she grabbed it. Baylor feeds it to Bella. Unloads a three off the mark. A good look, but she couldn't hit it from the left edge. Bugs, though, with the offensive rebound. Lobs it outside to Scott. 15 to shoot for the Bears. Now Jana has it right corner. Spins it outside to KJ. Single digits on the shot clock. Bella's going to try again from that spot, and this time is too strong. Another offensive rebound by the Bears. Bugs inside for the putback. Baylor back by 9. Well, Bugs paying immediate dividends after missing most of the first half. After missing much, I should say, of the first half with foul trouble. 7:48 to play, third quarter. Here's Wilkie around the screen, lobbing it outside to Ross. She's got room. She lets a three fly. That's way off the mark, and it's out of bounds to the Bears. Boy, they are struggling from downtown. 2 of 16. That's 12.5%. Baylor much better. 7 of 17. That's 41%. Here's Jenna Van Geitenbeek with it on the right side of the floor. Switches hands, now moves back left. Angles to the center, finds Talia Scott, unloads a catch and shoot three. Perfect from the right side.
She is good at those when she doesn't have to think, and muscle memory just takes over. And Talia Scott just buried that three, and Baylor back up now by 12, their largest lead of the game.
Well, you like seeing that after Utah put together a mini run to start the third. 3 minutes gone, third quarter. Here's a bounce to Wilkie, and a timeout is called by Utah after Baylor's harassing defense had Walker in a straitjacket there on the right, left, high left side of the floor, prompting a Gavin Peterson timeout. That is their first timeout. We will take it as well. The 2025-26 women's basketball season is presented by Central National Bank, proudly serving Central Texans in Waco, Temple, and Austin. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. A game-high 12-point lead for the Bears. Just about 3 minutes gone, third quarter on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. When it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. But with the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. Don't buy from social media ads unless the ad is from a verified company. When you click those ads, you open yourself up to fraud. If it seems too good to be true, it almost always is.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
At Magnolia Realty, award-winning agents set the bar for professionalism and excellence. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Magnolia's full-service brokerage will guide you through every step of the process with expert industry knowledge. Their agents are fully invested in learning your story and customizing the real estate experience to suit your stage of life. Magnolia Realty has been serving cities across Texas since 2007, including Waco, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, and Temple. To get connected or learn more, visit magnoliarealty.com.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
A 5-0 Baylor burst prompts a Utah timeout. The Bears with a game-high 12-point lead, 40-28 over Utah. Baylor number 18 in the nation. Utah knocking at the door of the top 25, but it's Baylor on Utah's home court with the lead right now. Lori, Utah came out and scored the third quarter's first 4 points, and Baylor tried to drive into the teeth of their defense and had 2 straight turnovers, but feels like they learned their lesson.
I think they did, and they were talking about it today in this scouting report, is that Utah likes to get in there and send 2 players and really dig at the basketball, and Baylor didn't handle that pressure very well, gave the basketball up and in turnovers, and Utah just came out firing and hit its first couple of shots. But since then, they've been 0 for 4, and Baylor has gone on a 5-0 run thanks to an offensive rebound and put back by Bugs, and then a Talia Scott 3 catch and shoot on the assist for Jana Van Geitenbeek. So that 4-0 lead or 4-0 run for Utah was short-lived as Baylor just rolled off a 5-0 run and just had some great defense to be able to force a timeout call by Utah. They were in jail and immediately had to call a timeout to save the possession.
Talia Scott, now the game's first double-digit score with 11 points. Out of the timeout substitutions for Utah, they're going to play it in from the baseline. It'll be Crisp to play it in out there with White, Otto, with Wilkie, and with Sneed. They're going to play it into Sneed. Baylor in a zone defense here as they kick it outside. That is White getting it back, unloading a three with some room. Too strong. Rebound grabbed. Good position by KJ in front of the tall Otto. She hauls it in for Kirsten Johnson. That's now 7 boards.
That is 7 rebounds, 7 strong boards. And boy, she was really resolute with that one.
Here's Talia Scott with a kick out in the corner. Good look at a three. Perfect by Bella Fauntleroy. 8 points for Bella, and that's a 15-point Baylor lead.
Yeah, that is second three-pointer from Bella, both of them off of assists from Talia Scott, who penetrated. They've got to be able to respect her on the inside, but she found Bella over in the corner for a wide-open three.
Here's Wilkie with a catch-and-shoot three, answering left edge, taking the pass from Chris. Not bad defense by the Bears, but she had just enough room to unload. Just their third three-pointer of the game in 18 attempts. Here's Van Geitenbeek back the other way, feeding Bugs, who swings it left side to Bella, and a foul is called on the Bears. Talia Scott with a moving screen. Boy, we've seen a lot of those as of late, and they're making an emphasis on that this year, the officials are. But moving screen call on Talia Scott. That is her first, the team's first of this third quarter. Just about 4 minutes gone here. Baylor by 12, 43-31. Sneed running the point, the backup guard who actually leads the team in assists with just under 4. Right hand dribble guarded by Talia Scott. Bodies hit the floor. That is Wilkie and Van Geitenbeek, but there's no whistle. A pass into the post is off the fingertips of Crisp and stolen by Talia Scott. Scott with a kick out to Van Geitenbeek in the right corner. She can't clear a three. Drives beneath the bucket instead. Finds Bella again, this time from the left side. She airballs it. Rebound, though, is grabbed by KJ. Offensive board, second chance opportunity for the Bears. Here's Van Geitenbeek around a screen. Jumper, top of the key. Perfect. 10 for Jana Van Geitenbeek, and the lead is 14. Calmly hitting that mid-range jumper from the edge of the key.
That was calm. She is 4 for 4 from the field with 10 points, but most importantly, that was more points off of offensive rebounds. Baylor now up to 8 offensive second chance points.
Foster behind a screen, misses a three. Rebound batted around and controlled by the Bears. Here comes Talia Scott. She drives inside, is stripped to the ball. Luckily, Bugs is there to chase it down and save the possession. Jana has it on the right side, angles inside, feeds KJ. Now a pass left edge to Talia Scott, around to KJ's screen. KJ rolls to the bucket, shot clock at single digits. Here's a drive by Talia Scott, mid-range jumper in a crowd, floats it in.
She's so good at those mid-range jumpers, but give some credit there to KJ. Set a couple of screens for her on consecutive opportunities for Talia to be able to break free for that pull-up jumper.
Wilkie wants to drive on Van Geitenbeek, nearly stumbles and loses it. Hope she's all right. She gets up. Glad to see she's okay. She feeds Otto, who bangs into Bella Fauntleroy, and that's a charge, an offensive foul. Oh, did they call that? Hold on. Did they call that on Bella?
They call a turnover? A foul on Otto.
Oh, a fade. Okay, ooh, that's what we wanted.
Okay, yeah.
I saw Utah celebrating and got thrown off there. That's a foul on Otto. That's her first, and that is the first on Utah here in this third quarter. Hey, Bears fans, this basketball season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink for basketball watching. Pepsi, that's what I like, proud partner of Baylor Athletics. A game-high 16-point lead for the Bears, 47-31 with 4:15 to play in the third quarter here in Salt Lake City. You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is a longtime supporter of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Baylor fans are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and get your own custom Baylor Bear debit card. With 6 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Today we have 2 very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So we could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Well, Utah, after scoring the first 4 points of this third quarter, has allowed Baylor to score 12 of the last 15 in the game. And as such, the Bears have a 16-point lead, 47-31. Now, Lori, there's still plenty of time in this one, 4:15 to play in the third quarter. But you like the way Baylor answered pretty emphatically after Utah made a mini run. And, you know, Baylor had the 11-point halftime lead. If you allow them to get another bucket or two, all of a sudden it's a 2 or 1 possession game, but Baylor obviously didn't allow that.
Yeah, at the very beginning when Utah came right out and hit 2 shots within the first 55 seconds, you're going, uh-oh. But Baylor just did not panic. Again, I think because, you know, they had missed a shot, but Bugs was there to clean up the glass and get that put back. And I think that allowed everybody to relax a little bit. They got a stop, came right back down, and you ended up with Talia just nailing a catch-and-shoot 3, and then Bella followed up with another 3 on the assist from Talia Scott. So all of a sudden, Baylor just answered big time. And you think about how they're shooting the ball right now here in this third quarter. Baylor is 5 of 9 for 55%. And a lot of shots already in this quarter by both teams. Both have 9, but only 3 made by Utah in this quarter. They're shooting 33%, and Baylor just doing a really good job at maximizing their opportunities.
Baylor with possession, up 47-31 out of the timeout. Kyla Abraham is back in for the Bears. She sets a screen left side for Jana. Feeds Bugs at the free throw line. Lobs it down low to Kyla. Little follow away, no good. Markayla Johnson in there. Bugs with the offensive rebound, but can't hit the follow. And here comes Utah away with it. L.A. Sneed off and running. She dribbles into a crowd, has to fight to maintain possession, and feeds it outside to Otto. Otto to White, getting downhill, driving on Bugs. Oh, and a late whistle.
Wow.
Will be the third foul on Bugs. Bugs leapt, and really there wasn't a lot of contact, but they called the foul there. That is Bugs' third and the second on the Bears as Bella Fauntleroy checks back in. That's going to send White to the line. Lonnie White, an 86% free throw shooter who's averaging 17 points per game in the Big 12 games, Lori. She had 9 first quarter points, nothing since. Baylor's done a good job on her, and she's going to have to earn her first point since the first quarter at the line.
All right, Bugs is going out of the game right now, a little bit upset. I think she was talking to the referee about pulling down that offensive board, and a lot of contact underneath there.
White splashes in the first free throw, one more coming. I would agree with that analysis.
Yeah, with, crunch between 2 players, and that was a difficult putback, but still, Bugs just flew in there on that offensive board.
One more for White. It is good. Utah has not hit a field goal in the last 2:36, but they do get a pair of free throws there. It's a 14-point Baylor lead. 47-33, 3.5 to play, third quarter. Van Geitenbeek lobs it in a post. Good grab by Kyla Abraham. The pass was a little errant. Oh, she makes a nice move, but it shorts the little follow-away jumper. And then Utah inexplicably touches the ball right before it's about to go out of bounds.
Actually, I had a player who went out, threw the ball back in, went right off the legs of her teammate and out of bounds. I mean, a player trying to make a hustle play, but just...
There we go.
Boy, Baylor gets another shot at it.
Good eyes there. I was a little screened and thought I saw. There we are.
I had a sliver to be able to see that.
Here is Jana Van Geitenbeek taking the inbound, giving it back to Markayla Johnson, top of the arc. Drives downhill, feeds it outside to Bella. Good hard drive by Bella. Pops a little jumper. Oh, in and out. Spun around the rim and then fell off. White with the board, back the other way for Utah. 3 minutes to play, third quarter. Reese Ross, a double-digit score for the Utes, but she's been quiet tonight, 0 of 6. She takes the feed inside. A little lean in on Yuting Dunn, and Dunn is called for the foul. That's tough. There was some contact there, but Dunn was playing defense and got hit with the foul, and that's going to send Reese Ross to the line.
Yeah, I think it was Ross just going underneath the way she did, and that was a smart play by Ross to be able to get that foul call on Dunn. He was in the air.
First free throw by Ross is good. Her first scoring of the night. Ross, a 54% free throw shooter, coming off a career-high 21-point game against Kansas State over the weekend. She misses the second free throw. But White claims the offensive rebound. Tonight, just 1 point after that career-high outing. But Utah's going to get another look at it, down by 13 points. Here is Evans with the dribble. A handoff to Foster. Bounces back to the cutting Evans, and that's another Baylor foul that's going to send this time Evans to the line. This foul on Jana Van Geitenbeek, and that was a good foul by Jana to snuff out the basket and make Evans earn it from the free throw line.
But boy, that's tough that they even got another crack at the basket after missing the free throw earlier. And Baylor just had the ball go off its hands and into the hands of the Utes.
Evans, a 42% free throw shooter, doesn't look like it on the first.
Yeah, right now
they
can't buy a basket. They're one of their last 7, but they've gotten to the free throw line 3 straight times.
Second free throw, no good. Rebound kicked out to the perimeter, and another offensive rebound by Utah. They're going to get another look at it. Here is Sneed handing it off to Foster, spinning it outside to White. Now Evans comes and gets perimeter right. 7 on the shot clock. It is White around a screen, getting downhill inside. Lost the basketball out of bounds. Baylor ball.
Well done, Kyla Abraham. Just staying with her. Kyla is so good now at just keeping her hands up, keeping that body, screening the player just basically right out of bounds.
Well, that works well for the Bears, who have been good on the defensive end this evening. Baylor with the ball on a 12-point cushion. Van Geitenbeek, perimeter right, has it. She's going to pop a jumper and miss, and away from the ball, a foul is called on Kyla Abraham.
Goodness.
Another offensive foul.
There weren't a lot of whistles in that first half, and these have come fast and furious against Baylor.
2:07 to play in the third. That's the 15th foul on the Bears. Utah in the bonus. They've got possession. Foster to Evans. Outside, White. Catch and shoot 3, no good. Reese with another offensive rebound. Kicks it out to Foster. Now it is Sneed with it high on the left side. They've been doing some work on the offensive glass in this third quarter. Still, Baylor's built a good cushion. Pass in the corner to Foster, back to Evans. Evans dribbles it off her foot, chases it along the baseline, and as she rolls out of bounds, she had the basketball. That's another turnover, giving it back to the Bears. Bugs back in for the Bears in place of Yuting Dunn. Kyla Abraham out there on the floor along with Van Geitenbeek, Markayla Johnson, and Belafont Leroy. 94 seconds to play, third quarter. Baylor with the ball, a 12-point lead. Kyla Abraham with a dribble to her right and a handoff to Van Geitenbeek. Didn't shoot a 3 behind the screen. Instead dances on the right edge. Crosses over. She will let a 3 fly in and out. That's her first miss of the night. And Utah comes away with the board. That was Reese Ross. In transition, a kick out in the corner. Foster can't clear a 3. Baylor closed out on defense. Good hustle by Van Geitenbeek. Here's Sneed kicking it out, and now they're going to go in the corner. A nice drawn-up play, but it is White missing the runner. Got her own rebound, goes back up with a miss.
You have got to be kidding me.
Bugs, who snuffed out the shot from behind, is called for a foul. She walks towards the Baylor bench and puts her arms out.
They called that on Bella.
They did call that on Bella.
That was not a foul. Watch Bella get her hands on the basketball. No body, as far as I saw, but let's see that one again.
See if we can see. That's the third on Bella, and that's going to send Lonnie White to the free throw line.
Well, they're not going to show that one again, and that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate.
86% free throw shooter. Lonnie White is 2 of 2 from the line. Yeah, we're not going to get another look at that, but they called Bella for the foul, her third, and now White goes to the line. First one is up, and it is good. They are 5 of 7 here in the third quarter.
They're on a 5-0 run, all because of free throws, but Baylor has been 0 for its last 5.
One more free throw coming for White, the 6-foot-tall guard, and she hits the second. So that's a 6-0 run, all from the free throw line, as Lori said.
Yeah, over the last 2.5 minutes.
Evans
Right,
is
but a
back
basket
in.
would do wonders here.
Under a minute to go, third quarter. Baylor by 10, 47-37. Van Geitenbeek finds Abraham. A hard dribble and a handoff to Talia Scott. She is banged into by Maddie Wilkie. That is Wilkie's first and just the second foul called on the Utes here in the third quarter. So Baylor will play it in from the baseline. Jana Van Geitenbeek with the goalpost to her left, floats it in right corner to Bella, takes the handoff and angles towards the middle of the floor, finds Talia Scott, whose jumper is off the mark. It was rushed, and now in the fight for the rebound, there's a whistle, and Baylor is going to keep this.
Well, Bella was in there again, a little bit of a fracas there, but on the right side of it this time.
Lonnie White called for the loose ball foul, her first and the team's third. So with 46.1 to play third quarter and a 10-point Baylor lead, Bears are going to get a fresh 20. Jana looking to play it in. Feeds Bugs, who comes and get it along the baseline. Bugs bangs her way in the post. A spinning fall away. Perfect.
Boy, she was determined to be able to get in that right in front of the Big 12 logo. Fade away, dropped it right through. Baylor needed that bucket. They had been 0 of their last 6.
Baylor by 12. 25 seconds to play in the third. Kyra Evans spins past Abraham, but misses the right-hand finish, and Bugs comes away with the rebound. The Bears can play for the third quarter's final shot. 14 seconds and counting left here in the third. Jana dribbling right side of the floor. Talia Scott comes to get, but now with 7 seconds to play, Van Geitenbeek drives around an Abraham screen, kicks it outside. Talia unloads, but that three is well off the mark, and that's the way the third quarter ends. Baylor outscores Utah by 1 and will head to the fourth quarter with a 12-point lead. Our Courtside cam, you can find it each game at youtube.com/Baylor Athletics. That's the Baylor Athletics YouTube channel. Courtside cam brought to you by NextLink, reliable high-speed internet for your home or business. We head to the fourth quarter here in Salt Lake City. Bears have won 4 straight. The Utes have won 10 of 11. And it's Baylor up by 12, 49-37 with 10 minutes to go on the Baylor Sports Media Network. Well, apparently we'll keep it here just a second. We'll take a break here from Salt Lake and come back. You're listening to Baylor Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network. Well, we are going to keep it here in Salt Lake City. Baylor by 12 here as we head to the fourth quarter. 49-37 the score. Talia Scott with 13 points. Van Geitenbeek, Janove with 10. For Utah, 13 for Lonnie White. And now the Bears 10 minutes away from closing this out. Lori, it's not been Baylor's best offensive night, 38%. But they've been solid beyond the arc, 40%. And meanwhile, continued good defense on Utah, who's shooting just 28% overall and 15% from downtown.
Yeah, you know, Baylor just had to weather that little section, almost 3 minutes worth of Utah just getting to the free throw line. And at that point, they were able to score 6 points off of that and only 3 other baskets during the rest of the quarter. But Baylor got a much-needed bucket from Bugs after they had just not been able to score for nearly 5 minutes. But Bugs just operating in the lane. Again, a determined play. And we have just seen her continue to just be so good. She's 3 of 4 today. Just one blemish, the one miss that she had. But and that was on the play that she wasn't too happy about. She got an offensive rebound and was trying to put it back and was really just double teamed in the middle and then got called on a foul. But Baylor with an opportunity here, leading on the road by 12, 49-37.
Lori, I want to relate a non-basketball story for just a moment here. We're here in Salt Lake City, staying downtown. And, you know, it was a big week for Baylor Athletics with the news of Chip and Joanna Gaines, Magnolia's generous donation to the Baylor baseball program, naming rights to the field, now Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark. I tell you what, people noticed. I mean, you know this. People Magazine covered that. Someone saw me in my Baylor coat, stopped me on the street and said, "Oh, you're with Baylor?" And I said, "Yes." And she goes, "Did you see that Chip and Joanna gave a donation to the naming rights for the baseball field?" I said, "Why, yes, I did." I didn't feel the need to get into, everything we do, but as Baylor plays it in, I thought it was neat that someone here in Salt Lake City stopped me and was aware of that generous gift by the Gainses.
Yeah, and there's more to that story, too. We'll share that a little bit later.
Baylor has the ball to start the fourth quarter, and as Bella Fauntleroy starts a drive, a foul as a reach-in is called on the Utes, and that will go against Avery Jelmstad, who just checked back in, her first and the team's first. Fauntleroy plays it in from the sideline to Talia Scott. Crossover dribble, pops a well-contested jumper. It's too strong. And the rebound is grabbed by Wilkie. Outlets it ahead to Walker. Baylor by 12, Utah with the basketball. Ross on a handoff to the cutting Jelmstad. Flips it to Evans, outside to Wilkie. Now Evans with an extra pass to Walker. Everyone touching the ball this possession. They feed Jelmstad in the corner. Her three blocked by Bella, who plucks it out of the air. Feeds it ahead to Talia Scott. Good defense by the Bears today here at this high elevation arena in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Bella with 2 of Baylor's 6 blocks in this game.
Here's Bella Fauntleroy kicking it in the corner. Talia Scott unloads a 3. That's short. It hasn't been her night shooting. She struggled with her shot the last 3 games, but Baylor has the lead at 49-37. 8:50 to play in this one. In the corner, it is Ross taking the feed, high left side, giving it back to Jelmstad, who had a 3 blocked by Bella Fauntleroy a moment ago. 13 seconds to shoot for the Utes. Evans, harassed by KJ, has to struggle to find someone to give the ball to, and away from the ball, a very frustrated Dariana Littlepage Buggs hits the deck as she is called for a foul. And that's the 4th on Buggs, the first on the Bears in the fourth quarter. I tell you what, I don't think Buggs has liked any of those calls. Now, players generally don't like foul calls against him, but there's been a couple toughies in there.
Well, I looked up to see a sprawling Dariana Littlepage Buggs. She needs to be real careful here. I know it's frustrating.
Baylor is setting up defensively as Walker will play it in from the baseline. Walker sends it in the corner. Good defense there. Jelmstad well covered. She gives it off to Evans. Evans outside to Reese Ross. Now kicks it in the corner there. High right side. It's Walker again. Single digits on the shot clock. There's a back cut by Reese, but she can't finish. She took the feed, but missed the layup in close.
Utah has missed a ton of layups tonight, but could be rushed because of Baylor's defense.
I think you're right, Lori. I don't know that Coach Nick you necessarily love all the looks they've got, but Baylor has contested them.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Jenna Van Geitenbeek on the drive in a crowd, angling back outside. 9 seconds to shoot. 2 minutes gone fourth quarter. Whistle and a foul against the Utes.
Yeah, Bella picks up another foul, and I mean she draws another foul.
That's Reese Ross, her first, team's first. White and Foster back in for Utah in place of Walker and Ross. Meanwhile, Yuting Dunn checks in for the Bears. It'll be Van Geitenbeek to play it in. 8:02 to play here in Salt Lake City. Baylor with the ball and a 49-37 lead. Van Geitenbeek finds Talia Scott, catch and shoot mid-range. Too strong. Rebound is tipped around. It's out of bounds, and it will stay with the Bears. Shot clock reset to 20.
You know, Bella just tapped it out, and she tapped it right off of the fingertips of Utah. And just a heads-up play and a little bit of luck involved for number 22.
Off the inbounds, Talia Scott hands it to Van Geitenbeek, whose 3 falls off the rim. It hit both sides, but fell off. Rebound chased down in the far corner by Evans. 7:48 to play. Baylor with a 12-point lead. Evans has it, top of the key, turns and puts it on the floor. Finds Foster, who unloads a 3. Back rim, no. Rebound is out of bounds. Last touched by the Bears. I think KJ swiped at it but couldn't grab it.
And I think it just went off the fingertips of Bella on the way out. Just a ball bouncing around and just could not bring it in.
Inbound finds White, kick out to Wilkie, extra pass in the corner to Snead. Now it's Evans inside, circles in on Bella, who snuffs out her shot in the lane in close. Another block by the Bears. Baylor tonight with 6 blocked shots. one off of their season, actually make it 7, so they're right at their season average.
Yeah, that's 3 for Bella tonight, and that one was not going to be called a foul.
Yes. Utah will play it in from the baseline. They lob it into White, 9 to shoot. White scoops it outside to Wilkie, bounces down low to Evans. Evans got blocked a minute ago by Fauntleroy, and Fauntleroy blocks it again.
She got bailed out, but she did put the body into her before she got the ball. But
I think that's the right call, but it's hard.
Yeah.
That's a foul of, as Bella picks up her 4th, though, the team's 2nd.
Well, you know, if Evans didn't make that secondary move, 22 would have stuffed her. So it was a good move by Evans, who will go to the free throw line.
Evans under 50% on the season, 1 of 2 today. You know, Lori, Baylor averages 7.2 blocked shots per game. That is 1st in the Big 12 and 3rd in the nation. She hits the first free throw. You know, you just look, that's such a weapon for this team. And it's not just the usual suspects, KJ or Kyla. You know, you see Bella Fauntleroy as the 2nd free throw is good as well. You know, Bella Fauntleroy, despite not having the height of a KJ or a Kyla, boy, she's an excellent shot blocker.
You know, Utah has not scored from the field since the 6:19 mark in the 3rd quarter. Every one of their points have been from the free throw line, and that's 8 points that they have scored from the free throw line. Baylor still searching for its first bucket here in the 4th quarter.
We've got a stoppage in play as Maddie Wilkie called for a reach-in foul on Jenna Van Geitenbeek. For Wilkie, that's her 2nd and the team's 2nd. Inbound, Jenna Van Geitenbeek kicks it to Yuting Dunn, who just returned. She'll pop a jumper from the left baseline, 15 feet away, perfect. The Baylor lead is 12 again, 51-39, under 7 minutes to play. Sneed to Ross, who just returned. The tall forward hands it off to Foster, trying to get downhill. Cut off. She tries to feed Ross in the post, and KJ got a hand in there and knocked it off of Ross and out of bounds. Baylor ball.
Boy, you got to just hand it to KJ. I mean, that rim protection that Baylor is able to get with 7 total blocks tonight.
Here's Dunn off a screen,
Nice.
floating it in from 12 feet away.
That time she didn't have to move. She just had to catch, set her feet, and shoot the basketball. It's so smooth. A couple of baskets in a row from Dunn.
9 points off the bench for Yuting Dunn. The Baylor lead is back to 14, 53-39, 6:20 to play. Evans with a dribble to her left, hands to Sneed, coming back right, reverse layup, no. Rebound tapped out of bounds by Evans. It'll be Baylor basketball again. Boy, Lori, they cannot buy a field goal, to your point, and I appreciate you noting that's been basically about 10 minutes since they hit a field goal. They're shooting 25% from the field, 13% from downtown. Baylor's holding them to that. I would rather use the affirmative. Baylor is holding them to those numbers.
I agree. Well, they haven't. You know, they've gotten some good looks, but you know what? Again, Baylor's defense will speed you up and make you uncomfortable.
Dunn wants 3 more
I
off
thought
the
that
front
was
of the
going
rim.
in.
It was a good look off the screen, but just a bit short, and here comes Utah with it. Down 53-39, Baylor with the lead. Reese puts it on the ball, puts it on the floor, tosses it to Sneed. Evans, a fall-away 3. No, you'll take her. You'll live with her taking that shot, even if she hits it.
Well, you know, she
Abraham with the board.
She's not a high-volume shooter, but she shoots well from beyond the arc. But you know what? You will take that in that moment.
Here is Dunn high on the left side. Abraham fires it perimeter right to Van Geitenbeek. Nelms and Pemberton will return on the next dead ball for the Bears. Jana Van Geitenbeek bounces down low to Abraham, who was held in the post. That will be Brooke Walker hit with the foul, her 2nd, team's 3rd, and that'll give Pemberton and Nelms a chance to return.
Yeah, Utah was really trying to deny anything around the horn and really pressuring there. But once Jana was able to get a little bit of space and be able to get the ball inside, they got the foul call.
Pemberton back in off the screen, misses a pull-up jumper. She's been a solid shooter this year in limited opportunities, but she missed that one there. We're halfway through the 4th quarter. Baylor up 14. Utah with possession. Sneed on the dribble, bangs into Johnson, sends it outside to Ross.
Threw a hand, too, a little bit of contact, but no call.
Here is White getting downhill, sandwiched in a crowd, misses the jumper, but a body is called on the Bears, either Pemberton or Nelms. And it is Nelms who is hit with the foul. Her 1st, team's 3rd. Free throws coming for White after the 4th quarter media timeout. The 2025-26 women's basketball season is presented by Central National Bank, proudly serving Central Texans in Waco, Temple, and Austin. Bank different, Bank Central, Central National Bank. Baylor has won 4 straight games in Big 12 play, 8 consecutive road games, and they're in position to extend both of those streaks if they can close it out up 53-39 here in Salt Lake City. 4:49 to play on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
We don't just build trucks. We build something that's meant to last. That's why the 2026 Toyota Tundra isn't just built in Texas. It's built by Texas, which means the Tundra is built to tough it out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. Built to roll with the punches and to go the distance. Built stronger, built louder, built here. The 2026 Toyota Tundra. Built in Texas, driven everywhere. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today.
Right now, qualified buyers get 2.99% APR financing for 72 months, plus $1,000 of Vention cash on a new 2026 Tundra. Toyota, let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for offer details. Offer available in select states and ends 2/2/26.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Under 5 minutes remaining in this one here at Utah. Baylor with a 53-39 lead. 4:49 to play. Boy, none of these quarters have started off well offensively, Lori. Here we are. Over 5 minutes gone in this fourth quarter. Only 6 points have been scored between the two teams. Baylor 4, Utah 2. But when you're Baylor and you have a lead and you put the other team just in absolute prison defensively, you can get by with not shooting as well, and that's what we've seen tonight.
Yeah, and you got a couple of really great shots from Dunn when Baylor just needed a ball to fall because they had started off this quarter. They started off, I think, 0-for-4, I think, before they got a couple of buckets to fall for Dunn, and that gave Baylor a little bit more breathing room, but it's all right now for Utah. It's the free throw line or bust because they just have not been able to get anything to fall. They're 0-for-6 in this quarter. They have 2 points from the free throw line and both of those from White, and she's headed back to the free throw line as we come back to play.
Baylor has held Utah in the second half to 3 of 19 shooting from the field. So that tells you something. Baylor, meanwhile, 8 of 25 from the field in the second half, up 53-39.
Well, it's absolutely critical that Baylor's bench players just play within the system, play good defense, execute. You've got Nelms, Pemberton, Dunn, Johnson.
There's a rare miss from the 86% free throw shooting White. She's got one more
and it'd be Markayla Johnson, by the way. And that one, the only starter out there is Jana Van Geitenbeek.
Jana Van Geitenbeek, 10 points, 5 assists for the Bears. Leading scorer, Talia Scott with 13. Jana has 5 assists to lead all passers. And then KJ, 9 rebounds to lead the Bears. Kyra Evans has reached a double-double for Utah. 1 of 2 as Utah with some backcourt pressure.
We almost have a line change coming.
Yeah, we almost do. At Baylor, Nelms first scoring. Wilkie tries to answer and finally ends their field goal scoring drought with a little mid-range jumper that makes it 55-40. Still, Baylor with a 15-point lead. More backcourt pressure from the Utes. Markayla Johnson nearly draws a reach-in foul as she crosses midcourt, but Baylor's going to slow it down to get up by 13 with 3:45 to go, 19 on the shot clock. Markayla, hard drive, middle of the floor, gives it off to Yuting Dunn. Dunn floats it to Markayla, 10 on the shot clock, 3.5 to play. Markayla Johnson scoops it to Pemberton, driving hard inside, and she is fouled. Utah will put Baylor in the bonus with that foul, as that will send Pemberton to the line for a pair of free throws. Here comes that line change you mentioned, Lori. Scott, Fauntleroy, Buggs, KJ back in as well. You see Markayla Johnson exit along with
let's say Pemberton can't come
yeah,
out.
Pemberton can't.
She's got to go to the
well,
free throw line.
But Pemberton will go to the free throw line where she is 8 of 10 this year. She drew that foul on Brooke Walker. Lori?
Yeah.
Got to say hello to our friend Tom Barfield. He's getting ready for Baylor baseball season a month from today. It begins.
Goodness.
My partner on the baseball side. First free throw by Pemberton and out. I know Tom, his wife Dee Dee, they just got back from a cruise. Got to spend some time with his wife before baseball season starts. But
you got to plan, and you got to do it right.
Good move on their part. Tom is tanned, rested, and ready for Baylor baseball. And he's cheering on Baylor women's basketball tonight. Pemberton draws in on the scoring. She hits her second. She hits the second free throw after missing the first. And it's a 14-point Baylor lead with 3.5 to go. Utah back the other way. It is Evans with it. Finds White, who unloads a three short. And the rebound high pointed by Bella Fauntleroy. Van Guytenbeek back the other way. We're down to 3:10 to go. Good pressure by Utah, but the Bears break it. And again, Baylor's content to drain some clock here, up 56-42. Hand off to Van Guytenbeek, 15 on the shot clock. She's guarded by Foster. She flips it to Talia Scott around a screen, and they called Jana for a moving screen.
It's just a genius at being able to take the contact and really sell a foul call.
That's Brooke Walker with the foul. That is her fourth and the team's fifth. And now a steal, nearly steal in the backcourt. Talia Scott saves it. Baylor has 2 seconds to get it across and does to Buggs.
Woo.
Buggs, Johnny on the spot there for the Bears to save that possession and take the feed. Really, Scott just had to kind of throw it in the general vicinity, and she was there to get it. 9 seconds to shoot. Scott fires it to a cutting Buggs, right baseline for two.
Boy, Talia may not be just lighting up the scoreboard tonight. She's 5 of 20, but she has 3 assists today, and that one was beautiful to Buggs.
Despite limited playing time for Buggs, she's got 9 points and 7 boards tonight. The Baylor lead is back to 16, matching their biggest of the night. Pass in the post to Kyra Evans, and we've got a whistle and a foul called on Talia Scott with the body there, her second and the team's fifth. So, Lori, Baylor's just had Utah completely flummoxed on the offensive end with a strong defense. Anytime they've made a mini run, Baylor's just pushed the lead right back.
Yeah, they have. When you think about Dunn hitting the 2 shots in a row, Nelm's got a big shot with 2 seconds left to go on the shot clock on an assist from Dunn. Pemberton with a great drive gets 1 of 2 free throws, and Buggs, just a strong post move on the assist from Talia Scott. But Evans now at the free throw line, because that's where the majority of the points seem to be coming. That pops in and out, gets 1 of 2, and Buggs pulls down the rebound.
Under 2 minutes remaining, Baylor breaks the backcourt pressure into the front court. Spins it to Jana Van Guytenbeek. 1:53 to play. Baylor by 15. Baylor has played well on the road this year, and really going back to last year as well, and they are on their way to a big road win here with just over 100 seconds to go. Jana spins inside, bounces to Buggs, cutting to the bucket for 2 more. They've baited them into that twice here in the last 2 possessions, and Buggs has been the recipient.
Well, Jana just took great care of the basketball because they dug at her hard twice, and she did two nifty spin moves to be able to find Buggs on that pass.
Here is Evans in a crowd, has it knocked away, just simply stolen by KJ. She took it away from her. And with 1:10 to go, Baylor, this may be the last time they really look at the bucket, depending on how quickly Utah moves. But that was a great job just to take the ball away by KJ. Under 1 minute to go, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Talia Scott has the ball poked away by Jelmstead, grabs it back, gives it to Buggs, a long way from the basket. Now Scott takes it back, drives inside, and rolls it off the side of the rim at the shot clock buzzer. Well, Utah back the other way. Here's a long 3 way off the mark by Foster. Buggs claims her 9th rebound and is going to dribble into the front court. 10 seconds between the clocks, and Baylor cannot play for the last shot. But what could happen, Lori, is if Buggs gets another rebound, she'd have a double-double.
Yeah, and that's amazing when you think about just, how her game has been disrupted by the foul calls.
Here is Talia Scott dribbling away some clock. We're down to 18 seconds to play, 7 to shoot. Baylor by 17 points, a game-high lead. Talia pops the mid-range, no, but a foul. She'll go to the free throw line with 11.9 seconds left. Avery Jelmstead with her second foul, team's 5th. Well, Lori, this is a Utah team, by the way, that on this season shooting 45% overall, 36% from downtown. And Baylor has absolutely just completely stifled anything they've tried to do. Buggs' night is done, 11 points, 9 rebounds. Pemberton is back in. Ella Brow in as well, and Esgoryanova will play for the final 11.9. We're going to talk to Bella Fauntleroy following the game tonight on the First Central Credit Union postgame show. A rare miss from Talia Scott at the free throw line. She'll get one more coming.
Got to make this one, because you got to have MJ get in the ball game. Now
Here
you
we
get
go.
a chance.
Markayla Johnson is in. Talia hits 1 of 2, and she will finish the night with 14 points on 5 of 21 shooting. Shot clock dark. L.A. Sneed across midcourt. 9 seconds to play. Drives inside. Dishes it off down low to Kyra Evans. Muscled it up and over everyone. Rebound tipped back to Evans, and she will finish with 1.7 seconds left. But that's cosmetic. Pemberton plays it into Brow, and that'll do it. 5 in a row for the Bears, who pick up a quad 1 win. More importantly, the Bears improved to 5-1 in Big 12 play with a dominant defensive performance and a 61-45 win over a team that had won 10 of their last 11.
Boy, Baylor just has played so well here in this game. You know, Utah jumped out to a 5-2 lead, and they looked like they felt good. They opened it with a 3. Baylor answered with a 2. Evans had a second chance bucket, and that was what was happening in that first half was those second chance opportunities on offensive rebounds for Utah. But then Baylor got an 8-0 run, and you know, from that point on, they never looked back. Even during that really frigid second quarter, Baylor never lost the lead. They closed out the half on a 10-0 run, and they were just able to find those runs that just knocked the wind out of Utah throughout this game.
Well, here's a stat that I think demonstrates that. Lori, Utah hit 8 field goals in the first 10 minutes, so the first quarter. They had 8 in the final 3 quarters combined. Baylor held them to 8 field goals in the last 30 minutes of this game and win going away 61-45. The First Central Credit Union postgame show is coming up next. We'll visit with Bella Fauntleroy and Bears head coach Nikki Collin and discuss how Baylor was able to get it done tonight against the Utah Utes. 61-45 the final. 5 in a row for the Bears in Big 12 play as they pick up a big road win here on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
See for yourself why Green Eye Associates is voted best in Waco year after year. Enjoy exceptional service and care from Dr. Leanne Green, along with her dedicated optometrists and staff. Receive trustworthy insights about your eye health. Enjoy the impressive variety of contacts and eyewear, and work with the most experienced optical team in Waco. Don't miss the new state-of-the-art dry eye therapies that rejuvenate the eyes, face, and neck areas with safe, non-invasive treatments to restore comfort and quality of life. Visit greeneyeassociates.com. Green Eye Associates, official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
Are you tired of slow internet? Are data caps and throttling making it impossible to stream your favorite shows and movies? If so, it sounds like it's time to switch to Nextlink Internet. With Nextlink, there are no data caps and no throttling, just super fast internet speeds, up to 1 gig over wireless in some areas. Plus, Nextlink is an official partner of Baylor Athletics. So don't wait another minute. Give Nextlink a call or go online to nextlinkinternet.com to see what special offers are available to you. Blazing fast internet is just a click or phone call away. Sick 'em, Bears.
Do you want to earn points while cheering on your favorite Baylor teams? Join Baylor Bold Rewards. Track your attendance on the Baylor Sports app across athletic events and earn points towards prizes and experiences. Download the Baylor Sports app or register online today at BaylorBoldRewards.com and start earning your points today.
Today we have 2 very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Bluebonnet Health Services has been caring for Central Texans since 2004. Bluebonnet is locally owned and operated, which allows them the most interaction with patients each and every day, promoting compassionate care and integrity. They provide hands-on attention to their patients through a staff with years of experience. Bluebonnet Health Services provides home health care, supportive care, and hospice. Remember, it's your health, your choice. Ask your doctor for Bluebonnet Health Services.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. And when it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. With the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. Never deposit someone else's money into your bank account. Scammers will send you money or overpay you and then ask you to refund a portion of the money back to them. This is a scam.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
This has been live coverage of Baylor women's basketball. Now, it's time for the First Central Credit Union post-game show. Brought to you by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, championship partner of Baylor Athletics. Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance online to find a local agent today. Central National Bank, proud season sponsor of Baylor women's basketball. Nissan, innovation that excites. Libman, America's trusted brand name in cleaning. Premier ER and Urgent Care. Feel better now. Stay tuned as we break down the game. Listen to highlights, talk with Coach Colin, players, and more. All coming up on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Dominant defensive performance by the Bears to pick up their 5th consecutive win, 61-45 over the Utah Utes, who had won 10 of their last 11. As we welcome you to the First Central Credit Union post-game show. First Central Credit Union, everything we do for you. We are joined by Bella Fauntleroy, a big part of that dominant defensive outing today by the Bears, despite she and Dariana Littlepage Bucks being limited by foul trouble. Bella finishes with 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 blocked shots. And boy, Bella, you all absolutely dominated Utah on the defensive end tonight. They were just 16 of 61. Y'all are always good defensively, but how did you get it done like that tonight?
We just had a big emphasis on jumping to the ball. They like to cut people up. They're one of the best teams that I have ever played in my college career at cutting and getting people open. If the ball goes into the high post, low post, anybody, just know your man is cutting, and they usually draw and ones. They get open layups, or if they miss the cut, you got help side sucked in and they skip it for a shot. They're all really good shooters and good cutters. So it was a tough one, but I think we jumped to the ball. We were in position and communicated with each other so well so that we didn't give any of that up.
You and Bugs were only able to play about half the game due to foul trouble. I know we're biased, but some of those calls we didn't like. But I don't have to be frustrating, but was it easy for y'all just to kind of stay locked in those moments and, when you were out there, give it all up? Because that's what you always do.
Absolutely. And at this point, Bugs and I are veterans. We have had 4 years under our belt of being in the storm. We have weathered the storm 4 years with a different team every time, but we know how to lead. We know how to communicate. I know my job is to talk on defense and communicate with the team, get us to where we need to be. I know Bugs is going to go clean up the boards, and she's going to make stuff happen on offense. So we all just kind of filled our roles today and did a really, really good job of not getting too caught up in the moment with those foul calls.
Bella, tonight in Salt Lake City, Utah, we had a great Baylor green and gold crowd.
We did.
Behind the bench. How much did they energize the team and really just get you guys going or keep you going?
They definitely started us and kept us going. I think even from the moment that we ran out of the locker room onto the court for warm-ups, we see them. We have literally a sea of green and gold right here behind our bench, and just it means so much to know that we have people who pour into us and show up for us every game, no matter if we're hundreds of miles away on the road or if we're right at home. So just please, to everybody who was here tonight and everybody back at home in Waco, keep showing up for us because we're going to keep putting on a show for y'all. We appreciate you.
We love that. We love the fans here on the road, and you're going to be sticking around in Utah for a while, but hopefully you'll have a chance to take a little bit of a break tonight and be able to rest and recover from this one. It was quite a battle out there.
Yes.
Yeah, you took a few charges
you
out
did.
there.
A couple I said I wasn't going to, but I always do. It's part of my job.
Yeah, you do. I mean, it's funny. You move a little gingerly. fans notice this. So let me ask you about that. How to take us through your, like, oh, that hurts, but I got to get back up routine, because we see it. You get knocked down hard. It's written on your face, and yet you get back up, and next possession on the floor, you're doing what you have to do again.
Yeah, I think lately more than ever, I take a second, I take a breather, because I know I'm going to have to get back up and do it again. It's my job, and we talk about everybody has something that they have to sacrifice every night, whether it's their legs because we're out there running and rebounding, or taking a charge, and my tailbone might be a little bit sore, but you know what? That's what my team needs for us to win. I definitely take a second, though. I'm getting a little old, if you guys can't tell. So.
What, 22 years old?
Yes.
Way up. Yeah, matching your jersey number.
Listen,
way up.
that's only
way
basketball
up
years. I've been playing since I was 5, so
sure.
17 years of
that's
basketball
true.
is a lot.
Yeah,
that is a lot. That is a lot, yeah.
I will give that one to you,
that's a good
Bella.
point. We
you get that one.
Lori and I have a few years on you, so we hear you're old, 22, but you're right. You've put a lot of miles out there on the court. Hey, so I've got to ask you too. This is, you mentioned all the fans up here. We're on a road swing. We get a couple of these a year rather than going back home to Waco. We got another night here in Salt Lake and then 2 in Provo before playing BYU Sunday. Do you enjoy those? What do you all think of these kind of swings as a team?
I think it's great, especially for me right now, because I don't have any more classes that I have to take, so I'm enjoying it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to enjoy being in Utah and focus on just basketball. I know the girls are also kind of thinking about, okay, school is going to start here next week, and just we have some things going on back at home. But I think everybody really enjoys being out, because we're going to go to dinner and we're going to spend time and do team time and things. But it brings us closer. Whenever you're in the hotel all together, we all bring all of our games, like our Nintendo Switches and PlayStations and all the things. But we have a good time on the road, and we obviously are playing well, so we got to keep it up.
5 in a row now, and you hold Utah to 26% shooting tonight, 12% from downtown. Bella, great effort as always. Appreciate you being with us.
Thank y'all. Sick 'em.
Sick 'em. Bella,
congratulations on the graduating.
Thank you so much, Lori.
That's the point of going to Baylor University.
It is.
Yes.
Student athlete.
That's right. Student athlete.
Right.
3.5 years. Way to go.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Bella Fauntleroy joining us here on the First Central Credit Union post-game show. 61-45, the final tonight. Baylor with the win. We will take a timeout. We're going to hear from Coach Nicky a little bit later on. We'll give you stats, scores, and more following a dominant win tonight here in Salt Lake. 61-45 over Utah on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
It's the wrap-up the year sales event at Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Waco. Drive the stunning 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L with 0% financing for 60 months, or take $4,500 in combined bonus cash, plus $1,000 in select inventory cash. And right now, enjoy no payments for 90 days. Just sign and drive into the new year. These deals end soon, so hurry into Allen Samuels in Waco today.
Come by. Let's be friends.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. And when it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. With the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. Don't click on links in emails and text messages. Scammers send emails and texts that look real, saying there's a problem with your account or your order. Don't click. Don't do it, ever. Instead, go directly to the company's website and log in there.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Come see why Green Eye Associates is voted best in Waco year after year. Enjoy exceptional service and care from Dr. Leanne Green alongside her dedicated optometrist and staff. Receive trustworthy insights on your eye health. Enjoy the impressive variety of contacts and eyewear, and work with the most experienced optical team in Waco. Don't miss the new state-of-the-art dry eye therapies that rejuvenate the eyes and face with safe, non-invasive treatments to restore comfort and quality of life. Green Eye Associates, official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
Serving Texas since 2007, Magnolia Realty is a full-service brokerage led by expert industry knowledge and a commitment to community. With kindness and integrity at the forefront, every agent is equipped to help you navigate the market and make the real estate journey your own. Whether buying or selling, feel supported with an award-winning agent at your side from first offer to contract and close. Magnolia Realty serves cities including Waco, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, Temple. Learn more at magnoliarealty.com.
Fox Sports Radio, 93.9 K230 CK and KRMX HD3 Waco.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
welcome you back into the First Central Credit Union postgame show following a 61-45 Baylor win tonight over Utah. We are brought to you, as always, by Rudy's. Be sure to stop by your local Rudy's or Rudy's.com for some real Texas barbecue. Enjoy 100% oak smoked meats, delicious sides, and Rudy's signature sauce. Don't forget, Rudy's serves breakfast tacos every day until 10 a.m. It may be a few minutes before we hear from Coach Nikki Collin because the press conference that she is obligated to be at is actually in a different building. And I'm just going to throw that out there. We are blessed with Foster Pavilion.
Yes, we are.
And I'll mention, too, I had to make a little exit from here at halftime. And I'll just say, let's just say, the resources that they have for media that one might need, you have to climb up like 30 rows. I needed a Cliff Bar some granola when I was done. It's we are blessed with Foster Pavilion.
Yeah, it's just the media room is right around the corner, and other facilities are as well. But hey, you know what? A story we did not finish was you were talking about the big news for Baylor athletics this week with Chip and Joanna Gaines and their amazing gift to Baylor athletics, specifically Baylor baseball, renaming the field.
Yeah, Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark.
That is a wonderful name, and they had the Gaineses were there on Monday to be able to meet with some members of the baseball team and our AD now, Doug McNamee, and Coach Thompson and President Livingstone, and it was a beautiful day, a beautiful January day for that, but you were talking today about wearing your jacket while you were out walking today.
A woman stopped me and said Baylor. Just Baylor, and I turned. And she asked if I was. I get this. You might get this. When you wear the gear, are you a coach?
Yeah.
And I said, I just said no. I'm the announcer. Well, actually, that came after. That came after because she goes, well, did you see that? The Gaineses, Chip and Joanna, did the naming rights for the baseball field? And I said, yes, I did. I didn't go into all the details, but here in Utah, people knew.
Yeah, that was really cool. Like Paul Harvey would say, here's the rest of the story, is that you tweeted today about that experience, and you got retweeted or a quote tweet by none other than Chip Gaines
That
himself.
is true. Yes.
You are almost famous.
almost the key word. No, he said it's just the beginning. So
and
it's
that
exciting.
is
that
exciting.
Yeah.
Because some of that, the gift, not only just renaming the field and what that does for the team, but also about future capital projects for baseball.
Yeah.
What that means remains to be seen, but isn't that exciting, especially with the season about to get underway, and Baylor has a great baseball facility and right next door to Getterman Stadium, a great softball stadium, right by the Hurd Tennis Center, and our soccer field, the Betty Lou May soccer field, and it's just exciting for that. Very energetic for this first part of the year. Yeah. And speaking of energetic, this was a great win for Baylor on the road, 61-45. They took the lead at the 7:03 mark, and that's when looks like I have a different scoring. I think that's when, let's see, Talia hit a 3. Am I reading that right? Did Jana follow with a 3? She had to, because that's how I wouldn't have the score wrong at that point. I think Jana may have hit a 3.
That sounds right. Let
me make sure. I just don't have it noted in here. Let's look at our threes only. I just want to make sure I have that right. Yeah, Jana hit a 3-pointer. So 2 threes in a row for Baylor after Utah started with a 3. They started the game off with a white 3. Since for the rest of the game, for the next 39 minutes, they only hit 2.
Wow.
And Baylor got 2 in a row from Talia Scott and Jana Van Geitenbeek, and Baylor never looked back at that point. They went on an 8-0 run. They had a 10-0 run. They just weathered a lot of things. And I think we have to give some important, just thumbs up to the Baylor bench when they had to get in the game, from Kyla Abraham to Kayla Nelms to Kara Pemberton. They all got in the game, and they played some incredibly valuable minutes. And you had to get in there and play, because you had at times Bella and Bugs in foul trouble. And they're too valuable to lose, keep out there and have players diving at them. So I was just thrilled to see, some good outings from Baylor's bench today. I'm missing somebody. Yuting Dunn, of course, Yuting Dunn. Also, had 9 points and boy, when Baylor needed her in the beginning of the fourth quarter, she came through with a couple of buckets in a row, and Baylor really didn't have to look back from that moment on.
Well, again, Baylor led in this game by as many as 18. They win by 16, and Utah's, their last the last time that they had the lead came at the 8:0. Where they secured it at the 8:04 minute there, like you were talking about. So that's an impressive stretch by the Bears. Colin Pirtle informs us that they are making their way back over through the frontier here of the Wasatch Mountain Front in Salt Lake City. We're going to take a timeout, and we'll hear from Nikki soon. We'll also have stats and some other scores as well before we wrap things up here in Salt Lake City. Following a 61-45 Baylor win today over the Utes on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Bluebonnet Health Services has been caring for Central Texans since 2004.
Hi, sir.
Is locally owned and operated, which allows them the most interaction with patients each and every day, promoting compassionate care and integrity. They provide hands-on attention to their patients through a staff with years of experience. Bluebonnet Health Services provides home health care, supportive care, and hospice. Remember, it's your health, your choice. Ask your doctor for Bluebonnet Health Services.
Everything we do for you. Slam dunk benefits at First Central Credit Union. Tip off with free checking that pays cash, less fees, great rates, quick local loans, easy online applications, a free mobile app, secure remote control cards, 24/7 deposits, and more services at our ATMs, and a free new member t-shirt. Join today at firstcentralcu.com. We're your team. Everything we do for you.
Eligibility and application requirements apply. Member NCUA.
Want to be the energy our Bears need? Go gold with Baylor Athletics this season and be the gold factor across each of our sports. Wear exclusive Gold apparel from the Baylor Bookstore and the Spirit Shop at upcoming Go Gold dates. Stay up to date on all your golden opportunities to create an electric home atmosphere by visiting BaylorBears.com/Go Gold. Sic 'em Bears.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So we could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Back here in Salt Lake City with Coach Nikki Collin after a 61-45 Baylor win. Her comments are brought to you by Alliance Bank, your Central Texas business bank. Well, Coach Nikki, appreciate you making it back over here to be with us here. A dominant defensive performance. You hold Utah to 26% shooting, 12% beyond the arc. And, you had to do that for a lot of the game without, two of your big-time players, Bella Fauntleroy and Dariana Little-Page-Bugs. How were they able to step up in the minutes they had out there, but others as well when they weren't available?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at the plus-minus in the game, that when that starting group was in there, they were really good. And certainly they played the bulk of that first quarter, which when was all the offense was in the first quarter, obviously. And then it came to a halt. But I'm proud of this group for I thought Kira's minutes were good. She had a really nice drop-off pass. We kind of went to dribble drive, which is what she ran at North Dakota, and she made a really nice drop-off pass, which we missed. But, I thought she gave us good minutes. I thought everyone that we put in gave us something, And I thought the little run when Bugs and Bella had the 4 fouls in the fourth, where Ting hit a couple shots in a row, people just can't get to her shot. Like, when she's being defended by smaller players, it's tough. It's really tough. So, I thought that stretch was important for us. But, we definitely, stole minutes over the course of that game. And really, other than Jana, we stole minutes for everybody. I thought I just kept waiting for Talia to break out, and she just didn't. The ball just wasn't going in the hoop for her. But we still were really good as a team with her on the floor, and so we're hard to guard. And then they send 2 at her, and it gives us opportunity to offensive rebound. And I thought Bugs got a little frustrated, but I thought she was so good when she was in there. Like she's taking good shots, she's cutting at the right time. When you get to that end and you're dribbling the clock out, and then she gets 2 cuts for layups. That's pretty depressing as an opponent. But it was really good execution by us, and I thought Bella gave us really good play early. Jana made shots early. We just once again we kind of pieced it together, but we just did a little bit of everything and just got enough to win. And it was because of our defense. Ultimately, I just felt like our length bothers teams, and when you're not giving them the 3. And I'll tell you the one thing that I'm super proud of them, and you know this from watching film with us, we didn't give up a lot of back cut layups. We didn't give up, 1 cut from Ross to the rim for a wide open layup. The officials let us play in the first half. They tightened it up a lot, I thought, in the second half, but the number of times they moved the ball side to side and the number of opportunities they had to cut and the number of times we didn't give up layups was pretty impressive. And so, knowing that we played Sunday, they played Saturday, and the, not being able to put as much into it, knowing that they might have only had 2-day prep too and taken Sunday off. But now they're rested and they go hard on Monday. We had to be, more conscious of bodies, on Monday. So I just thought we did a really good job. And I'll tell you that upper class group that has played against Utah, they set the tone. I thought they really set the tone at the defensive end.
By the way, here's a fun stat here before I toss it over to Lori. They had 16 field goals, 8 in the first quarter, so that means they had 8 field goals in the last 3 quarters combined. I'm not sure I've ever seen that in a Big 12 game.
Especially with a team that is pretty dang good offensively.
Yep.
40, I mean, they're
45% on the year.
Yeah, their analytics are really, really good. I thought the difference was, and I think Jana had her a lot of the game. I thought we did an elite job on Wilkie. Just not letting her get clean catches, see space. The 3 she hit, we were right there. She hit one shot off the move. But I think taking her away, I thought, as a group, our defense on Ross, because those are the kids that can get them going. I mean, White is like Talia. She's going to create some of her own. She's going to get to the line a little bit more. She was obviously inefficient, but was going to go. And then, I thought Evans, we made her inefficient. She had most of those baskets early, and we fouled her a little too much late, but we made her uncomfortable. We blocked her shot. We contested. And most of the time, the thing that we didn't want to do, she's a really good passer out of the post, and she's so good at hitting cutters, and we just didn't give her that. So she had to then go one-on-one, which is not something she does a lot of. She can do it, but she doesn't do a lot of it.
Well, you really wanted your team to watch out for the back doors and the cuts and the drives and be in a stance. So Utah missed 19 layups in this game. What factors lead to that? Does Baylor's defense and being there with the ball just make them rush?
Yeah, I mean, because we missed layups too, but I do think it's we weren't beat so bad that there wasn't rotation, or we weren't on their hip, or you've got Bella that's back there blocking shots, you got Bug's length, you've got KJ's length, Kyla's length. You rarely are getting just clean looks, And I did think they let us play at the rim in the first half, and I felt that way both ways. Neither team was going to the line in the first half. They ended up on the floor a lot. But I also think when you speed a team up and that pass is imperfect and they're running as hard as they can to catch those backdoor cuts, to catch, to play downhill, they just didn't get a ton of clean attempts at the rim, and they probably missed a couple just like we missed a couple point-blank layups. But, for the most part, It was very contrasting because even though we played them at the 3-point line, we extended on catches. They really tried to play inside the arc on us, bring a lot of congestion, which is why, we were pretty effective from 3 today, which was important because of kind of how they played us.
Yeah, the way that we played from the 3, you made them go 2 by 2 by 2.
Made them. You have to against them. They're just layups and threes. Layups and threes for them, Whites can make a mid-range shot, Wilkie can make a mid-range shot, but they don't play to those shots consistently. And so because of that, it was really important that, and they probably missed some open ones just like we missed open threes. But for the most part, we did a pretty good job of, being there and not making them feel like, a lot of times when they get in their actions and they're crossing and they're cutting, 2 go with the cutter and someone's standing wide open at the 3. Or nobody goes with the cutter and 2 people are guarding the person at the 3, and that just really didn't happen. I thought we gave up 1 3 in front of our bench in transition that I thought we could have done a better job of playing to the ball side and making them play to the backside. But other than that, that was one, to me, glaring mistake by us. But for the most part, we kept a body on a body.
Well, one quick thing, not for you to answer, but great crowd here tonight, too, because we got to take a break.
Yeah, really great crowd tonight. And they were on me all night. I wasn't even complaining much tonight.
Oh, they just, well, the student section is right on top of it.
They were really upset that Tony was standing up. They were really they were just.
But you had a great Baylor crowd.
A great Baylor crowd,
great
yeah.
Baylor crowd.
I told them they get to stay on the road trip now and go to BYU. We were sending the plane home early with them if we hadn't won tonight. But we got a lot of people in that group that are undefeated when they've traveled with us. So
that is true. We got to
become a part of Collins
healthy.
Corner, people.
Yeah.
It's a fun time on the road.
Yeah, well, and you all really, this program incorporates them into every aspect of what takes place, and it's a great group A to be around, both on the donor side, the supporter side, and the player side.
Yeah, it's team dessert tonight too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm getting the Dobo death stare from Michael Mata over here earlier. It really wasn't so much.
I wanted to say this up there, but I was like, I really felt like, what Utah normally does to people is death by 1,000 cuts. Because it's just. But I didn't really want to talk about death in the press conference,
That's fair. Well,
I saved it for you guys.
We all know where you're coming from over here.
Yeah.
So, well, Coach Nicky, congrats on the win. Thanks very much. Coach Nicky Collin with her post-game comments following a 61-45 win tonight here in Utah. We'll take a timeout and come back to wrap things up after this on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
We don't just build trucks. We build something that's meant to last. That's why the 2026 Toyota Tundra isn't just built in Texas. It's built by Texas, which means the Tundra is built to tough it out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. Built to roll with the punches and to go the distance. Built stronger, built louder, built here. The 2026 Toyota Tundra. Built in Texas, driven everywhere. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today.
Right now, qualified buyers get 2.99% APR financing for 72 months, plus $1,000 of Venture cash on a new 2026 Tundra. Toyota, let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for offer details. Offer available in select states and ends 2/2/26.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. And when it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. With the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. No reputable company or government agency will ever ask you to pay them with gift cards, Bitcoin, or a person-to-person payment app. Scammers use these options because the money can't be traced. Just don't do it.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Come see why Green Eye Associates is voted best in Waco year after year. Enjoy exceptional service and care from Dr. Leanne Green alongside her dedicated optometrist and staff. Receive trustworthy insights on your eye health. Enjoy the impressive variety of contacts and eyewear and work with the most experienced optical team in Waco. Don't miss the new state-of-the-art dry eye therapies that rejuvenate the eyes and face with safe, non-invasive treatments to restore comfort and quality of life. Green Eye Associates, official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Baylor a winner today over Utah, 61-45. Let's take a look at some quick scores around the Big 12 Conference tonight. Number 10, TCU, with 2 seconds left in regulation, down by 1. They inbound the basket. Marta Suarez with a three-pointer at the buzzer to defeat West Virginia in Morgantown tonight, 51-50. An overtime game in Orlando as Cincinnati gets the OT road win over UCF, 63-59. Oklahoma State gets a win on the road as well over Kansas, 85-76. Colorado at home in Boulder upsets number 19 Iowa State, 68-62. And, of course, the score that we're most happy about tonight, 61-45, Baylor over Utah. Baylor winning its 5th game in a row.
Well, Lori, full stats from this game are available, or will be at BaylorBears.com. But as we need to kind of wrap up here, we'll do a brief look before we go. You know, I think really in this one, it's team numbers that are the big numbers. Baylor faces a Utah team that's hitting 45% of their shots, 36% of their threes, nearly 10 made threes each game on average. They hold them to 26% shooting, 61 field goals needed to get 45 points. They're 3 of 25 from downtown. Baylor just really clamped down defensively. Baylor shoots 39%, 36% beyond the arc. That was big tonight, as Coach Nicky mentioned. 9 of 25. Baylor forces 14 turnovers, protect the ball well. Just 10 turnovers for the Bears. They outscore Utah off of those turnovers, 15-7. Utah with the edge on the boards. That is an area Coach Nicky wants to improve. Baylor with 41, Utah with 45, but Utah had 19 offensive rebounds tonight. Baylor's bench outscores their bench 15-7. And those are the key numbers in this one. Talia Scott leads the Bears with 14 points. Jana Van Geitenbeek leads the Bears in assists with 6. KJ paces them in boards with 9. It all adds up to a 61-45 Baylor victory tonight. Next up on this Utah road swing is a date with the BYU Cougars. That will be this Saturday at 3 o'clock. We'll be on the air at 2:30 from the Marriott Center in Provo. We hope you will join us. Fun game tonight as the Bears win their 5th consecutive ball game on the year. Their 9th straight in true road games. It's a quad 1 win for the Bears, who now have 4 quad 1 wins. Only 2 teams nationally have more than that. 61-45 the final, and we appreciate you being with us this evening. Want to say thanks to our producer, Cameron Savoy, back in Waco. Speaking for him and Lori Fogelman, I'm Derek Smith. Again, the final this evening, Baylor 60.